Yes, team. Welcome back, man. Welcome back. Another day, another topic, another conversation. Sav can't get onto me today. My hoodie looks all right. I don't look like yesterday tried to take the Mickey. But
Nah, yeah, you came on stream with the Grand Wizard hoodie yesterday, bro.
No, I...
Prime Django setting the come on in. You came on with that.
yesterday. But listen, we've got the people in the building. Savages in the building. Fenway Sanderson Group. Big up to Cal in the building as well. And big up to Cav taking time out as well, man, to chop it up. I think we're waiting on G as well, so he'll be here. You guys' favorite, Liverpool probably content creator in the negative way, but big up to G nonetheless. Man,
say the negative way is crazy.
Yeah.
Bro, if you see what happens in the chat, then you wait till G joins, then you see what I'm talking about. For some reason they don't enjoy his talking points, which I don't find any problem with. I think he's entitled to say what he wants to say, and he does so. Speak of the devil. Let's get him in the building. G, I was just telling him that you're the favorite Liverpool content creator, but in a negative way for the chat.
Nah, don't do that. G, this is live, innit? After the stream, go back and watch it from the very first second it started. It's nothing but open the show and slag you off, bro. I'm not going to stand by and let this guy make out there was anything else.
See what
Good
I have to do
morning to everybody. I hope everybody is well. I hope everyone's blessed. All I heard was devil, and I came straight into the stream. I didn't really like that. So.
I apologize. We shouldn't use those kind of words in the middle of the morning, right? So, okay. But big up to the man. Then before we get started, normally we do the mental health check-in to make sure the people, and obviously the man them on the panel as well, is all blessed, man. Sav, what you saying, bro? Apart from getting on to me.
Well, not forgetting onto you still, but yeah, I had a good morning, bro. Nice training session and that. Nothing much to say, man. Big up everyone. Big up Kelly's, Maya, Ashanti, and Kelly Rowland. Just because,
Come on.
like that. Because chocolate and that. Big up the sisters.
There's
Anyway, let's go.
some previous. Nah, I see what you tried to do there.
Now, what you mean, bro?
I see you. All right, you can't call yourself the White Walker. And
I never said that. I never said that, bro.
AKA the White Walker. Big up to Cal, man.
The White Walker is crazy.
Big up, Cav, man. How are you this morning, bro?
Yeah, I'm good, bro. Sorry, did you say Cal or Cav? Sorry.
If you want to go,
No, you take it. You're more important.
Yeah, you're ready.
No,
They're more interested in how you are than I am.
No,
Cal. You take it.
I can't complain, man. I can't complain. Kids are back to school now, so I feel like I can breathe again. And yeah, man, I'm happy. Best club in the world at the moment. So, what are we saying?
And Cav, how are you, bro?
Yeah, look, I'm gonna say I'm all right, obviously, and you and I both know that there's some issues we need to resolve in the background. Yeah, and we'll let the people into a little bit of an insight, maybe forget time later on. But the club's team's in a disarray. Yeah, it's all mashed up. We need a team meeting called later between all parties to try and get this put back together. So look, we'll put that aside and we'll talk football for now.
Okay,
I'm good. I'm all right. I'm well.
I think we got time to air it out. I think, but we might do that at the end of the stream. I
We
think get it
definitely
out of the way.
haven't. You don't know how much I've got to say.
Yeah, it's got a lot. It's got a lot pent up, man.
We could have been playing clubs last night, and it didn't happen because you've created a divide in the team. So,
Well, like Isak did. I hear it.
Nah, you ruined Zabiri's confidence as well, man.
Uh,
All right, G. How's your morning?
It was fine. I was happy. Yeah, I'm good. I'm good.
Ain't Bossman fed up with you at the shop yet?
Nah, this is a different shop.
Oh, so you just frequent other shops like it's GTA, bro, for no reason.
Nah, because the shop that I went to didn't have the certain thing that I needed, so I had to go to another shop.
wait, did you walk in and walk out or nothing?
Say that
As a
again?
black man, that's crazy, bro. You're a black man. Buy something, bro. Buy a Freddo or something, bro.
No, but they didn't have what I wanted. So when I asked him, he said, "Oh, I haven't got it with me today." I said, "All right, I'll go to the other shop
He's
down the
definitely
road."
Not
check
with
the
me
CCTV.
today, bro. Today? Did you bust with a drug dealer, brother? About how you got it?
They just didn't have what I needed today. That's all. That's all I can say. That's all I can say.
No, they definitely checked the CCTV when you left, bro.
No,
I got walking.
Man said
I
the
can't
deal.
walk in it,
Man said the deal is back again, bro. The dark one's back again.
guys, I just went in there to buy something harmless. They didn't have it. That's all I could.
All right, lads. The way I've got the show structured today, I've got a few questions as always. We'll take a look at obviously our boy Ekitike in terms of how he started the Premier League. 3 games down, 3 good performances, I'd say, but we'll dissect each game. But the first question on the agenda, I'm gonna throw to Cav first to start. Oh, he's on mute. Shall I go to Cal?
No, you're good. You're good. Yeah.
Okay, let's go with this one then. And chat, I would love to know what your thoughts are. Was Ekitike the forward you wanted, and how would you sum up his start at Liverpool? So,
He was the forward I didn't know I wanted. I'll be honest. I didn't know much about this guy. When we got linked to him, I asked Sav straight away. I said, well, "Tell me about this guy. What are we getting?" And you gave me a good summary of what he is. Yeah, I didn't know anything about him. I sort of watched the highlights and thought, "Oh, we're getting a bit of a trickster here." You know, someone that finishing looks a bit, 50-50. You can't convince yourself with the highlights that he's the best finisher in the world, but looked like he certainly had technical ability and drifted around the pitch. And yeah, seen enough there to think, this could fit for Liverpool. But since he's come in, he's done nothing but exceed what I thought we were getting. He just, when he first came in and he sort of met the squad whilst they were doing the training session in pre-season, just calm, composed, wandered around like he was a little bit unfazed. And I thought, we've got a bit of a character here where he's just going to come in, go about his business. He's not overawed by all of this. He's got that sort of French arrogance, if you like. And he's then stepped up and performed with proper hard work in the games, and obviously got the goals and contributed well in his link up and stuff. So all in all, just thoroughly impressed with his ability, how he settled so quickly at Liverpool, his attitude. And it just feels like he's got both the on-field and off-field sort of abilities and traits that is going to lead him to be successful at Liverpool. And I got to say, when I look ahead to the next games, I'm thinking that he's going to be one of the most important players for us in getting wins and how the team performs. So regardless of, where Isak is in terms of his fitness and sharpness and coming into this side, I couldn't care less. Ekitike is doing the business right now, and I'm excited to see him play. So for me, I think he's had a fantastic start. I think that he carries on the way he's going. He could be one of the best strikers in world football, because there's nothing to show us that can't be the case with what he's demonstrated in his footballing ability. So I really like him. He's a character as well. Do you know, like, even just to look at him with the sort of hairstyles and the languid frame and the way he carries the ball and stuff, like he's sort of entertaining in that respect. He's not a Joe Bloggs. He's a standout character, and I like that. Some personality in a player as well.
No, facts, man. What about you, Cal? Started off life. What did you want him? Was he the guy?
So, no, if I'm going to be completely honest, he wasn't one of my first choices. Everyone knows my first choice was Isak. Like, I knew it was a pipe dream at the very beginning of the window, but Isak was the striker I wanted, and I've wanted Isak at Liverpool for years now. As a backup striker, I actually wanted Liam Delap. There's Enz's bad poker face again. That silence was deafening from the rest of you. So again, that my whole thing was, I didn't think we'd get 2 expensive strikers. So in my mind, it was get Isak, who's going to be an expensive striker, and then get a striker who's not going to cost as much, but is either a younger profile, some room to develop. And I thought Liam Delap could have been that person. Obviously, Liam Delap went to Chelsea. When we're linked with Ekitike, I was over the moon, but I also thought, could this potentially scupper the Isak stuff? When what happened to Jota happened, it kind of made it clear we were going after 2 strikers. So when we wanted Ekitike, I was very happy with that because I still thought we'd get Isak, and obviously it worked out for us. But yeah, I'm not. I've got to echo everything Cav says. Like, he, in my opinion, has gone beyond, above and beyond my expectations of what I expected from him so early. I thought he'd be really raw on the ball and take a lot of time to get like settled into the club and settled into the league and everything, but it's fit like a glove, and long may it continue. And I think it's gonna make Isak's life easier as well and take pressure off him, because we don't have to rush him into the team now. Like, we can take our time, help him settle in, get his match fitness, get his sharpness up, and then we have two strikers who could do damage to any single team in world football, and that's a luxury to have. We haven't had this since Sturridge and Suarez, in my opinion.
Nah, so true, you know. What about you, Sav?
Yeah.
I know you're a big advocate of him as well, to be fair.
Yeah, well, until what happened with Jota, the answer was no, because I just didn't really think Liverpool was going to look at him while we had Jota there. I assumed that Nunes would leave, and then to bring in a main guy, and then because of Jota's injuries, he'd be the backup, because I didn't think he would leave, nor did I want him to leave either. When what happened with Jota happened, it felt like Liverpool almost brought whatever plans they had forward and said, let's just go for it now. And I still didn't think we'd have Isak, considering how we had spent loads of money already. We're not used to it. So at that point, that's when I was like, well, if you want, I heard loads of people talking about Isak. I think Isak's cold. To me, the closest thing to Isak is Ekitike, the way he plays, the style he plays in, the attributes they've got. Although I did say that Ekitike is more techie and everyone tried to kill me for it, but I just believe it, and it's what. But because I don't know with the way the manager plays, the pipe dream of having a number 9 is just going to stay up there and just do number 9 stuff kind of faded very quickly. And I saw how he played with Jota and Nunes. He played them both different, and I remember him mentioning in the press conference. So I was like, well, I miss Bobby from the squad, so I would rather have somebody like Ekitike who can still do that link-up stuff, get the goals. We're never going to be short on goals anyway. So for me, I just wanted Ekitike and Mateta, and then I thought it would have been perfect. One's way more experienced and is older, and one, I would have, if nobody was going after Ekitike, I would have left him for another season to just develop another season without Marmoush. But chances are everyone went and signed big players and that, and we had to get him in. So I'm happy about it, man. I love the guy. I do. I think he's cold. He's got personality. He's a bit of a rebel. I like it. He's gonna cause some problems. He's gonna cause some problems. Bro, I'm telling you, bro. Man's been Snapchatting in his expensive car and that. Oh, he vibes.
What about you, G? Was he the man you wanted?
Nah. I didn't even think. I was what Sav said, innit? About I kind of still felt like he needed to stay at Frankfurt because he's still a little bit untested. You know what I mean? I wanted him to have that other season just so that he can develop into a bit more of a complete player in whatever that means. I wanted Mateta, just like Sav said, because I said once obviously the thing with Jota and that kind of happened, and we realized, we're gonna have to get 2 strikers. I said, okay, cool. You get whoever your main is. I don't know who it would have been. I didn't think it would be Isak, but whoever the main is, get Mateta. I think, to be fair, like I'm still kind of like, let's see how this works, because Liverpool don't, like, the striking options are exactly the same. They're not different in really any shape, to be honest with you. So if one is not working, you're just going to bring on the same one anyway. You know what I mean? If it's not working anyway, then you don't really have anything different. And that's what I wanted, was having the Mateta. You're not going to have that same kind of striker up front, someone who can finish, someone who can hold up play. Do you know what I mean? Link others, bring others, kind of into play, but doesn't always have to keep drifting out wide and all of this kind of stuff. Like, just stay in the middle, do your job and whatever. But since he's been here, he's definitely exceeded like what I thought he would be. I think what Cav said about, being so raw and stuff like that. Yeah, I'm like, I don't think he would be as neat as he is, kind of thing. But yeah, like, listen, man, he's a good player. I think he's a very good backup to have. Like, if he's your backup striker from what he's showing at this moment in time, he's a good one to have. He's a good, and if you got Isak up front, like, you know what I mean? Right now, I don't feel like you're going to be complaining, you know what I mean, whatsoever. So yeah, as a backup player, I think he's good. I think he's good.
No, for real, man. I agree with you, G. But who's better than lads? Because Cal mentioned Delap. or Mateta. So I want to pit everyone against this one. So Mateta or Delap, if you had to pick one to join Liverpool. Chat, there's a poll in there as well. I'd love to know your feedback.
No,
on
there's
this as
no
well.
context around that. That's dark. How you question that is dark. There's no context around that. Who's the main striker if one of those who's coming in?
I'm just saying, if you had to pick one to join Liverpool Football Club, who would you join? Cal wanted Delap. The guys have said Mateta. Chat, there's a poll out. Let us know what you think.
Sam, I see what you mean about ends now. I see it.
Here's Morgan 2 minutes. Dark, man.
I see it now.
I think it's difficult though. Really, like you're putting Mateta, who, as Cal said, bro, that he's the main guy for a team that's kind of on the up and up as well in terms of Crystal Palace over the last since Glasner kind of came in. So having a Delap who's had one season in the Premier League, and for a team that got relegated, do you know what I'm saying? Like that's going to be like, I feel like it will just swing towards Mateta just because kind of thing, you know.
Although what Delap showed in the team that got relegated is pretty impressive considering.
Yeah, it was okay. It was okay.
Strong. I mean, it was pretty good. I mean,
so far the polls are 86% Mateta, but
they're at different parts of the career, though, innit? Because one's 22 and one's 28. But they're on complete opposite sides of their career, and that. So Delap would probably be a better investment for the future if you're going on this trajectory. But right now, which is kind of what I wanted at Liverpool, it was the here and now thing about it's kind of that's not the project thing, but when we've just won the league, you can do both things in it. You can have a Rio and then you can go and get some. You know what I mean? That's the best way to go for me, man. I was so dead with the projects and then it don't work and it's long, bro. So.
Nah, fairs. What about this one then, guys? I'll ask you, open panel, we can kind of discuss this one between us, man. If you were the Liverpool manager, who would you start up front, Ekitike or Isak, and why? So not what would Slot do, what would you do?
Start the brother who cost me 125 million is what I'm starting.
Sorry, wrong answer. Start the guy that's scored in every game that he played. That's his job. He's doing his job. I'm sorry, G, that your boss man couldn't deliver the goods, but Ekitike is.
Hey, leave my boss man alone, man. Leave him alone.
Can I just? No, I'm only playing, G. But let's just add, right? Liverpool haven't played particularly well in the first few games, and so for Ekitike to impress in that side where Salah's been absent, Wirtz has been very below par. Gakpo, in fairness to him, has done okay, bit in and out. To be in a side that's really not playing football particularly well at the minute, it have created him a few chances, but not many. For us to still be walking away from them games saying he's scored goals and actually his overall game's been pretty good, that actually is even more impressive than just looking at it on face value. So you can only think that when Salah starts to play football again and Wirtz finds his feet and they create more opportunities and more balls into his feet and more runners around him and more link-up play and more opportunities to score goals, if he continues as he's been doing, it's crazy to think what this guy can do. Now, of course, Isak can be the same, but we've actually, albeit a short sample size, we've got a sample size of Ekitike at Liverpool, whereas we don't with Isak. So for the time being, I think we have to stick with Isak, to be honest with you. Sorry, not Isak, Ekitike. We have to stick with Ekitike because of what he's given our side. And look at how much we collapse when he goes off the pitch. It just goes to show how important he's been so far. So I think stick with it. I think you've got to continue to play him for the time being, and then that gives us that time to get up to speed as well.
I'm on your side here, but obviously I want Isak to start as well. But I understand that he can't start. He's not match fit. He hasn't played enough football to start. So if I was, the logical choice would be start Ekitike because he's definitely hit the ground running for Liverpool Football Club. He's scored his goals. He's got an assist to his name as well. And he's looked like a top player within the team. And you're right, when he goes off the pitch, you can see there's a massive drop-off to the team's performance. So I'd keep him in there. But there's a £125 million reason why maybe that won't happen. What are you thinking, Cal and Sav?
I think it's a rotation. I think maybe we more than most other fan bases have really cottoned onto this idea of you've got your first 11 and then you got the players behind that who only come in if someone's out of form, injured, or it's a nothing game. I think we need to move away from that now. I think it's horses for courses. We've seen Isak can pick up injuries, so we don't have to run into the ground. Say again, bro.
Nah, you're good now, but you was. Now you're good now. You're good now. It looks like you're moving.
Apologies. Yeah, for me, it's horses for courses. Like, we are in a position now where we can play Isak in certain games, Ekitike in some games. That means you don't burn out either striker. So when you get to the business end of the season, they're both fresh. Slot's got a headache at that point. Do I play Ekitike? Do I play Isak? They're good problems to have. I think we need to move away from this. It's got to be Isak. It's got to be Isak, or it's got to be Ekitike. It depends on your position. It depends on how we set up. Look, we can now move to a 4-4-2 diamond if we want to play both of them up top. We could do what Newcastle wanted to do, play both of them up in the front too. I know people speak about Ekitike playing on the left. I'm not a fan of the idea personally, but I presume it probably will happen at some point this season. But this notion that it's got to be one or the other, I disagree. If we are going to go with the 4-2-3-1 though, then it has to be Isak, in my opinion. Like if it's Champions League final tomorrow night, it's Isak. He's the best striker we have at the club, and he's a more refined version of a striker at this point in his career. But I mean, if Isak isn't available and Ekitike plays, I'm not moaning at all. I'm over the moon. Like, we're in a very healthy situation. We're the envy of the football world, in my opinion, when it comes to strikers right now.
No, 100%. What about you, sir?
Yeah, man. Like, based on how it is now, I mean, if this was in pre-season, we got both players, then obviously you start Isak, and it is the more accomplished striker, more refined now. I remember when he used to be raw as well, very similar. So, but Ekitike has got him through the door first, and then started how he's meant to start, bro. So for that reason, you keep his confidence and you play him. Meanwhile, Isak can get match fit and you can get up to speed, and then you can start bringing him in last half an hour games and stuff like that, and then eventually his quality should show, and he should start scoring certain amount of goals, and then the manager will probably put him in. I do agree with what Cal said, because I've said this for years. Like, I've always envied Man City with the way they could just rotate top class players, and it never seemed to matter. And Man City fans weren't moaning that Mahrez was on the bench. The only thing is that Cal makes more sense than the manager does, because I don't think the manager's going to do that. That's the issue. If Slot did that, then safe, I'd be confident. I wouldn't care. Like, start whichever one, horses for courses, whatever opposition. This geezer don't want to do anything, bro. Salah been stinking up place, still in the squad. It doesn't matter what. No, it doesn't matter, bro. So, like, once Isak gets in there, bro, I don't know how much he's going to rotate him in there. You would hope for, like, something a bit more than, like, that Alvarez and Haaland situation where Alvarez got to play quite a few games eventually. But I don't know if I trust the gaffer to rotate like that. Now, he could change his ways, and everyone's allowed to do that. Last season, once he got to the end, he said, I felt like I probably should have rotated a little bit more. You know what I mean? Because obviously he came from a different league, and it does used to, like, winter breaks and all that stuff, and there was a bit more pressure. But then I'm just like, is he just going to do that in, like, the FA Cup and League Cup and stuff like that? And then, I don't know. Listen, as long as Liverpool get the victories and all that, that's the main thing. But yeah, I don't know. But Ekitike would start for me at the moment.
If you start both of them as well, then what does the bench look like for me? Because I feel like then the bench you're relying on who? Chiesa, the guy that we left out again. Yeah, you're forcing it. You're forcing it if you try to play both of them at the same time. Really, I feel like you got to find a solution where one of them starts and one of them is on the bench. Then you have a strong bench. If he's not performing, and you've got what you don't want is a position where both of them are not performing, which I don't think will happen. But there is games where teams could just nullify both of them, and then you go, right, what is there on the bench to come off and make a difference?
Can I throw a wild card out there, boys?
Get rid of the manager.
No.
That is wild on
wild. Let's say we play both. Is there not a world where Jadon Danns is on the bench and potentially comes on to help? Yeah, silence is mad today. Yeah. Forget what I said. Forget what I said. Edit out. Post production. Edit out. Yeah.
You know this
Edit
thing
out,
though,
edit
like
out.
you
That's
know, like
crazy.
everyone keeps talking about like
It's early. It's, kids
like,
have just
everyone
gone back to school in it, so my mind's still a bit rattled. I'm sorry.
I like
Nah,
you
I
thinking outside the box, though, Carl. I like that you're thinking outside the box.
Yeah, I don't think everyone else did though, Cav. I'm not
I've
gonna
never
lie.
known someone to have an ability to quieten a room so much.
Yeah. It sounded like I farted in the room, bro. That's what it sounded like. Yeah, sorry,
you
bro.
know,
I need to clean my glasses for that one, bro. Go on.
nah, like you know, like we always talk about like rotation, yeah, and I get it in terms of everyone thinks you're gonna have like these 100 games a season and whatnot, cool, but like in certain positions you're not rotating. Do you know what I'm saying? Like it is regardless of the squad you have, like you're just not gonna rotate certain positions anyway because you kind of want to keep that player, you know, continuously going. Obviously, we're looking at it from a fan's perspective of, yeah, like let's say Isak was to start in 2 or 3 games time, as an example, doesn't score in the first 2 games. I don't expect the manager to rotate him out. I don't feel like that makes sense because I'm like, well, you kind of need to have it's a striking role. It's not like wingers where if you've got 6 wingers, you can just keep rotating them and they're on the same level. So, bro, this is striker. Like Ekitike and Isak are not on the same level. So I'm not expecting you to just keep rotating him out. And like I kind of want to see Isak play 10 games in a row. I'll be honest with you. Do you know what I'm saying? Like Ekitike are gonna have to sit on the bench, or as you guys have said, maybe play off the left, whatever formation you need to work it. Like there needs to be like some type of stability within that kind of thing. Certain players just
Isak have like 31 games in the Premier minimum. There's only 38 games anyway, but you'd expect them to have at least 31. I think the problem is that we're a big club, innit, man? So as much as nothing's promised, the expectation that managers and the club would go into the season with is that obviously you get all your Premier League games, that's a given, you have to play them. But then all the other cups, you're not expected to get knocked out in the first round. The problem is that like it can happen, and so then the other player's going to get less minutes. Just in general, I do agree with you though, because all the teams that we watched growing up weren't rotating ARNE out on that, bro. He just played every game.
I just play every game.
Yeah. But obviously, there's more games now in the Champions League. I just don't want man to get like bit part minutes of like, oh yeah, Liverpool's through in the Champions League now, so you can play against Transbon blood. I'm not trying to.
But then, what are you telling? Like, as an example, let's say obviously Isak just joined. The Champions League ain't started yet, right? So we still got those 8 games that we have to play. I'll be real, how is that conversation with an Isak to say, yeah, so I'm gonna rotate you and Ekitike between each other in the Champions League. You play 4, you play the other 4. However,
you probably get 3 games a week at that time, innit? So like the chances are, if you just played in an intense Prem game, like say if you played Sunderland on the week, I don't want to disrespect Sunderland, they're pretty good, but say you played Sunderland on the weekend and then you've got like Bayern Munich on Wednesday. I'm not expecting Isak to play both games. That's what I'm thinking. Just modern times, and it's not the same as before.
But Haaland will play 4 games in a row.
The games are a bit more intense though as well.
He might have took Haaland off against Sunderland, though he might not play him.
No, bro, he'll play. I guaranteed Haaland will play. He might take him off.
Take him off. Yeah, he'll take him off early.
Take him off, but he'll play. And I think, like, remember, these are top strike. Like, we're talking about, like,
I agree with you, by the way. I agree with you, by the way. Just trying to find a solution, but I agree with you, by the way. That's why you said you're very interested in seeing how it works with both of them.
Yes.
Realistic, isn't it? And I don't know what the conversation, and we're never going to know. It'd be nice to know them kind of things. What conversation happened when you got Ekitike? Was you already did you already know, oh yeah, we're definitely going for Isak, this is definitely going to happen? Or did you go into this thinking Newcastle's not going to give him us, we'll get the you know what I mean, the closest thing to him? Yeah, you know what I mean, because I don't think Ekitike is one of these youths that are just going to be chilling and not playing no football, bro.
No, of course. Or he's not going to be.
Can I just to widen the conversation a little bit, right? Because we're talking about 2 strikers that I think are quite similar in how they play.
Yeah.
Both like to sort of drift out to the left a little bit more, be involved in build-up, bring others into play, and get goals and assists, right? That's their currency. But should the conversation not be what player does all of that, as well as bringing Salah and Wirtz into play more as well? Because at the minute, what we're seeing at the start of this season is Salah's out there on his own. And part of that is because our right back is Szoboszlai and not Frimpong or Bradley. But he's so isolated and he's not got that striker that's running behind the back 4 anymore, or Szoboszlai doing the third man run into the box that opens up space for Salah, or an option for Salah to pass into. So it kind of feels like his game's been a little bit nullified so far this season, and he's got to figure that out. Florian Wirtz naturally likes to drift out to the left, and he's moving around the pitch so much, trying to find pockets of space between the lines and do one-time flicks around the corner to link up. Is the best Liverpool team the player, not necessarily that scores the goals or gets the assists? It's the player that makes sure Salah can do what he did last season, and it makes sure Florian Wirtz can do at Liverpool what he did at Leverkusen. And that might just be natural how he performs on the pitch, not actually the goals and assists. So whereas Isak could be the best finisher, the best striker, he could bag 4 on one game. But if the next 5 games we're seeing these same performances where Wirtz is a bit hit and miss, the same with Salah, and you're thinking, do you know what? Ekitike brings these guys into play a lot more because he likes to go out to the left, but he's learned to go out to the right as well. He's learned when to drop in the pockets. He's learned when to be on the shoulder defense, and who knows which player is going to get it right first. But I almost think that the 2 strikers could do a really admirable job. But if you go through the season with Wirtz and Salah performing the same, and that's a byproduct of these players doing well, you're not going to win anything. So I think just as part of the conversation, it needs to be actually looking at the games and thinking, which of these 2 strikers is the enabler for the rest of our forward line? And so far, Ekitike has done really well, and it's the start of the season, so it's a hard thing to judge. And we haven't seen what Salah looks like with Isak in the team. So I think this is something we're going to have to sort of evaluate as time goes on, is which one's better? Because Ekitike the goals might dry up and he might become more of like a Bobby Firmino type style player.
Yeah, that's what I said.
And suddenly then you've got a conversation of, I've got this really good, tall, strong, languid striker that brings people into play, and Salah's now getting loads of goals, assists. Wirtz is running off the forward. He's getting goals and assists. Gakpo's brought into play. With pressing better. Another thing, pressing up the pitch better. All these kind of things. Or you might have another striker that does less of all of that, but is just a killer in front
Bags
of
the goals, isn't it?
So that it's a full-rounded comparison that we have to make, isn't it?
Sticking to that point, then, Cav, I'll get G back in as well. What you saying about that forward that creates for the team, and what's best for the team to bring like a Salah into play, a Gakpo into the game, and obviously a Florian Wirtz. This is his numbers from the first game against Bournemouth. 2 chances created. Obviously, he had a goal and he had an assist. So that would tell you he's bringing people into place. Passing wasn't great, but obviously he's a striker. Do you want it to be completely great? Not necessarily if he's trying to create stuff. But you also have the work inside of his game as well, where he's winning aerial duels and the ground duels, but he's winning tackles, he's running back and helping the team from that instance. But the fact of him trying to create chances, I don't know if Isak's game is built around that more. His game's probably more built around scoring the goals, being on the end of the chances instead of maybe a little layback and then spin and get the ball back in behind. So maybe it is going to be better to play Ekitike in some more so than not, if you want to get the best around, get the best out of everyone else around the team. What are you thinking, Kyle, about that? Because seeing that obviously in his first game, creating that many chances as well.
So in terms of Ekitike, I don't think he's doing anything wrong. In fact, he's excelling. And I think we've all mentioned it, how bad Salah's been starting this season. And Gakpo, for me, is someone who drifts in and out of games. So it's difficult to judge Gakpo because he gives you good output. But in terms of his in-game management, it can be very frustrating. Just to kind of pivot a little bit, because while you guys were speaking, I was going through. So last season, Isak played 2,700 minutes, roughly. Ekitike played 2,500 minutes. So that's a total of, if my maths ain't off, around 5,200 minutes. Let's say, for argument's sake, Liverpool, obviously we have to play 38 games this season, 8 games minimum in the Champions League. I'm going to average 4 and 4 in Carabao and FA Cup. That gives you a total of 4,860 minutes. And that's not taking into consideration injuries, suspensions, or anything like that. And that's the bare minimum in the Champions League, by the way. I genuinely think there is plenty of minutes to go around. So I don't think we're going to have this. I know we're looking at it thinking, is Ekitike going to kick up a stink? Ekitike knew Isak was coming to Liverpool. this wasn't a surprise to him. I think he knew what was going to happen. I think he knew that he was going to battle one of the best strikers in the world. And I think what I admire about him is the fact that he's gone, yeah, I want this challenge. He could have easily said, no, I'm going to go to a Man United. I'm going to go to a Chelsea. I'm going to go to a Newcastle. I want to be the guaranteed start. But he's gone, okay, you're bringing in Isak. Cool. I still back myself. And I think I'm going to still get into this team. That's the mentality of players we want. Like, with all due respect, I don't want another Simicast who's sitting there going, oh, yeah, I'll just sit on the bench. I just want to be around. Like, I want someone who's going to go, I don't care if that's Isak. Yeah, he's sick. He's been sick. But I'm sick. I'm better than him. I'm going to show everyone I'm better than him. So I don't think we're going to have a massive issue. I might be wrong, but I don't think we will. I think Ekitike, yeah, I think he's got personality about him, but I don't think it's going to be a rebel. And let's be real. Let's say he is a rebel. Let's say he goes, I ain't doing this. Let's say he does a Julian Alvarez after 2 years and goes, I'm not sitting behind and waiting. Then I trust the people at the helm to go, okay, we'll sell Ekitike for a good amount of money and we'll bring in the next guy. So I'm not.
Yeah, because look, if his argument is, I feel like I'm good enough to be playing in this Liverpool side ahead of Isak, and so I'm going to move. Well, if that much is true, you'll get a lot of money for him.
Yeah,
you know what I mean. Either the conversation carries no weight because the response is get better than Isak if you want to be in the side then. Or if he genuinely is and he wants to move on because he don't feel his opportunities at Liverpool, well, then he's going to end up at, a different club being sold for a hell of a lot of money. And that's a win-win for Liverpool because we get however long it is out of Ekitike and he contributes to our team because he's that good of a footballer. And in 2-3 years' time, if he thinks now I need to move on, we sell him for big money. I mean, we haven't always got to try and convince ourselves that these players are going to stay for the rest of their careers. Maybe we should just accept that, look, it's going to work for the next 2-3 years. As long as we manage the final part right, we'll just have to move on and we'll be better for it, So obviously, I hope that's not the case. But when it comes to Liverpool and why they would sign these players, it's a little bit of a no-brainer, to be honest with you. The only way it fails is if the player fails. But obviously, they don't think that's going to happen. Otherwise, they won't sign them, would they?
Yeah, I'm not seeing this as a problem.
Sorry, Sam. On what you were saying as well with regards to slotting his rotation in terms of we've seen how bad Salah's been and he's not rotated him out. The difference with Ekitike and Isak is he trusts Ekitike. I don't think he trusts Chiesa. I think he's kept Chiesa because we couldn't really sell him. But I don't think he trusts Chiesa. I don't think there's anyone in the squad apart from Gakpo and Salah as wingers that he actually trusts. Because even Rio he's come off the bench once, and that was against a team with 10 men. So he doesn't really trust the backups. And whereas I think with Ekitike he does. But again, if I'm proven right, like this for me, it's a big season for Slot. Like he's brilliant. First season brilliant. But in terms of his rotation, I need to see that this season. I don't want to see players in January just dead on their feet when we've got a squad like this. It doesn't make sense.
Yeah, he likes a small squad as well, doesn't he? Slot. He prefers it. I don't know, man. Like I said, it's not a problem for me as a Liverpool fan. As long as I get to see them play football and ain't hanging them out to dry, I'm cool with it because I do believe that if everyone was so the value is whatever you pay for it, man. But if we did based on what we've seen of players, if everyone cost how much they actually were worth based on their play, and he cost 40 mil, no, this conversation wouldn't be happening with Ekitike. It's because you would have just seen that one cost 100 and whatever, and one cost 40 mil. You'd be like, okay, that's fine. Obviously, he's going to be the backup until whatever happens and that. So, but I've always wanted to be in a position where we've got two of great talent and that's what I liked about Gakpo and Diaz last season. Is the fact that they both offer different stuff. I think Diaz's work rate is way better than Gakpo's, but the level didn't drop between them. I didn't feel like, oh yeah, one subbed off and now the levels dropped. And you don't really want that. And Cal's right. Up until this season, I thought he didn't like Italians, and then he just went and got this 50. Was it 18? It's Leone.
18, yeah.
So he's got him in now.
Did you say he didn't think he likes Italians?
Yeah, I thought he didn't like him. My problem is and I get it, and I'm only talking about the 3 games so far. But Salah's been so bad that you could have put. I don't care if you trust Chiesa, bro. He probably still would have done more. Salah's been rubbish, bro.
Yeah.
After that, I know he's counting on Salah to get back to Salah and all that stuff, and that's fine and that. But I'm just saying, man. You know what I mean? You can see what you see. Obviously, he has the upper hand now because we got over the line and we got the 9 points and stuff like that. But easily could have went the other way. And it's like, man was just not doing anything. It's like we got 10 men on the pitch. And we have that with Gakpo sometimes when he goes quiet. It's like we got 10 men. I'm like, bro, just make the change. This isn't a fanfare rotation. You want to see your favorite players. No, we're watching the games going, big man. It's like we got 10 men, change it. So that's all, man. But you know, man.
But looking at the heat map then as well, what to Cav's point about what player probably is going to suit, and obviously we don't have the heat map yet for Isak because he was on strike, so we didn't get to see him play. But it'd be interesting to like put it against each other, you know, in the near future and see where he's playing from. Ekitike is more like centrally more than actually in the box, so he's playing as if he's an attacking mid.
Bobby.
Well, we're talking about the Bournemouth game, right? So just for the Bournemouth game in general, it looks like his job was to drop into these little pockets and get the ball and then go in behind.
Yeah,
What's
Bobby.
your thinking?
I think at the moment, Ekitike is not helping Wirtz or Salah. That's the fact of it. Neither two are being helped with Ekitike being there. He's not really bringing any of them into the game. As you guys have said, Salah isolated, Wirtz underperformed. Like, I'm not saying maybe that's necessarily a byproduct of Ekitike, but so far with him there, it's not working with those two. And those are supposed to be the two players that we look to for some kind of, like these are the two supposable main guys in the team. Now, obviously, we don't know what Isak is going to bring. We don't know how that looks. But at the moment, I look at Ekitike and I think, he's done really good. Do you get what I'm saying? Like in terms of he's really hit the ground running. And like I said, he's exceeded my expectation of what I thought he was going to do. But he takes up the same kind of positions as Florian Wirtz. So like we talk about Bobby. Bobby had no number 10 in the team. Yes. Bobby operates in these areas, which allows Bobby to do what Bobby does best. If you're trying to, I guess, somewhat replicate that, as we've spoken about before, did you need Wirtz? Like, did you need to bring him in, to then occupy the same positions that Ekitike is kind of, operating? Now, I'm not saying before, I know Carl's about to go mad.
No, I'm not.
It looks like he's about to go. Yeah,
No, I'm not.
I'm not saying, like, obviously Wirtz is, we already know, quality player, blah blah blah. It'll take time. We don't need to go too deep into that anyway. But at this moment in time, we watch them. They're both same positions, both drop into the same holes, like to both drift out, do whatever it is that they kind of do. One play on the right-hand side, as we've cussed already, he's been absolute dog, whatever, but he's just there doing nothing at this current moment in time. So at this moment, because we haven't seen Isak, and we don't, as En said, we don't have a heat map to really judge it. At this moment, you're not getting the best out of Wirtz or Salah with Ekitike. So that's why I look at it and think, well, let's try now Isak now. Do you know what I mean? If that doesn't work, then you're gonna really have to this slot 4-5 thing. You're gonna have to change how you play, because you're gonna need to always guarantee that you can get at least the majority of your best players playing well. At the moment, your best players are not playing well. Now that's probably gonna change. It's early in the season. It's only 3 games. I get all of that, but so far, your 2 best players in attack, in terms of just name and whatever, they're playing dead. Wirtz and they're playing dead. So
do you know what Sorry, G. I just because I don't want to miss the point. I have a little bit of sympathy with Salah, a little bit, right? And it's because
thank you.
What?
Can you let him finish?
What? Nah, I'm not letting you. Nah. He's a world-class player, bro. What? I'm feeling sorry for my world-class.
Can you just let Gav finish? Thank you.
Sorry about that. So angry. This is that off-field game that's being brought onto the pitch. Right. Do you know? Because Liverpool, right? We've played 3 games, and they're 3 very different games. But our football hasn't been great. Our actual passing has been pretty poor. Connecting simple passes, right? Building out from the back. Alisson, I think distribution hasn't been great. He's kicked a few off the pitch. I think Virgil and Konate been a bit slow on the ball. Konate's had a really iffy start. So when you think about progression of the pitch, it's been pretty poor, to be honest with you. The Newcastle game especially was so direct. And I think the likes of Ekitike and Wirtz are kind of dropping deeper than they probably would like to, because they're trying to get on the ball. They're trying to impress the Liverpool fans. They're trying to change the game. And Salah's probably the one player that's picked that up and gone, someone's got to stay up here then. We've got to stretch the opposition. Someone's got to be standing still rather than moving to receive the ball. And perhaps he's just trying to be that guy that's thinking the better thing for the team is to let those guys who are naturally dropping deep do that. And then when they are able to progress up the pitch, I'll be the guy that's further forward. So sometimes we say when strikers in the box, sometimes it's better to stand still than move. I wonder if Salah's trying to do that a little bit, just to allow the other players to be able to build up the play a little bit. So that's just a little bit of something I can think of that gives Salah a little bit of an out. But also, when we talk about the comparison to that front three we had and Bobby dropping in and not having a 10 and stuff, I'll be honest, that worked brilliantly well, and it was an incredible forward line, the best we've had, I've probably ever seen for Liverpool, to be honest with you. But I'd like to think that with the quality of players that we've got now, that actually we've become that, but an evolved version of that, where the 10, because of the technical ability and the strength we have in our defence behind these forwards, that actually allows the 10 to be the roaming, floating guy that actually, if you put into that famous front three that we're talking about, would have been an even better evolution. Can you remember when we had Coutinho along with it? Yeah, cool. You know, we talk about the famous front three so much, but actually when Coutinho was in there, we had the 4, it was even better. It just didn't last that long. So I would like us to sort of get back to that kind of side where Bobby's still effective dropping and linking up, but it frees the 10 up to then occupy the space that's left behind. And then that sort of interchangeability between the 10 and the forward can happen, as well as bringing your wingers into play. So I don't think we need to look at it as like, we don't need a 10. And Florian Wirtz is a luxury player, but the system don't work with it because we're not geared up for that. I'd actually like us to just figure it out and then have a forward 4 that just interchange positions, can roam, are fluid, you know, and dynamic enough to be able to break out of their set formation and just link up so well and create the chances. The difficulty is going to be is we have Salah, and he's not going to want to move off that right side. And that's where it will break down, because everything's going to have to happen around him, really. And we've said it so many times before, the best football that Liverpool will play going forward probably will be after Salah's moved on. The most balanced Liverpool side we will have is after Salah's moved on. But then at the end of the season, we'll probably be sat here again going, Salah just found a way of just getting 20 goals and assists again this season. And you throw the conversation out the room and you just go with it. But yeah, I just think I don't like doing this comparison to a forward 3 and thinking that's what we need to go back to, because I'd much rather aim for a better forward 4, to be honest.
Cal, what was your point going to be? And then I'll shift the convo.
I hear everything that Cav and G have both said. I think we're looking at the wrong issue, though, as it pertains to the Wirtz situation. Salah's just playing poor. I don't think that's anyone else's fault. I don't think that's Ekitike's fault. Like, Salah's first touch against Arsenal was horrific. And I'm a Salah fanboy. So if I'm going to be attacked for saying this stuff, then fair enough. But Salah's first touches against Arsenal, it was like he was playing against us. Let's just be real about it. So I don't think that can be blamed on Ekitike or Wirtz or anyone. He was just having he's had a horrific start to the season, barring his goal against Bournemouth. In regards to Ekitike and Wirtz, though, I think it's half tactics, half personnel. I think the reason why Wirtz is dropping deeper than I would like him to is because we haven't got anyone in midfield at the moment, or haven't had anyone in the midfield since the start of the season who's able to thread those passes through to him in a space where he can turn and get at the opposition. Yep. Which means if Wirtz is dropping deeper, naturally Ekitike's got to drop deeper as well, because the space between them two is going to be too big if Ekitike stays on the shoulder of the last man. Not that Ekitike doesn't like doing that, but I think the instructions, if Wirtz was higher up, would be stay on the last man, Wirtz gets the ball, turns, you make a run, Wirtz is going to find you, we score a goal. Very simple. I think we need to look at the midfield. And I keep on saying this. Mac, Szoboszlai, Grav, phenomenal players.
Curtis,
very good.
Yeah, don't leave him out. All right.
You tried to as well.
I tried a thing. I did try a thing. But I look at those guys and I don't see someone who threads the passes through the lines as consistently as I'd want to. And I know McAllister could do that, but even McAllister's not had a great start to the season either. But then the question becomes who drops out of that, because for me right now, Szoboszlai is our most important midfielder, even though Gravenberch, in my opinion, has been our best midfielder so far this season. Gravenberch is obviously able to turn, beat the press, and take pressure off. However, no one is able to be doing that driving run back and forward like Szoboszlai can. But at the same time, you need a passer in there. So something's got to give in the midfield, which is going to allow Wirtz to flourish, whether that means having a more defensive-minded midfielder in there, meaning you shackle Gravenberch potentially a bit more, or you have Mack in there who's just solely aim is to get the ball to Wirtz. For me, something has to change in the pivot, which will allow Wirtz to get the time and space he needs. But not just that, we got to think about when Kirk is and eventually Frimpong want to start going forward as well. How does the pivot look there as well? I think the pivot now has become the most important part of the team for this whole system to work. And if it doesn't work, if we don't get the pivot right, I think it's going to have a knock-on effect for the rest of the team.
I said we need to play Gravenberch and Sobo in the double pivot. That's the best football I've seen us play with them two in there.
And then the first thing I'm going to say is Max probably our best midfielder when on form. So, but again, it's a headache to have. But this must say it's a headache to have. Oh, you're not. Oh, no. On form, when everyone's on form, it's Mac.
It was Gravenberch if everyone's on form, bro. Without him in that team.
Mac's special. When if everyone's on form, for me, Mac's the guy.
I think Carl's point was great. I think Carl's point was great on what he just said about Wirtz dropping deep and that because of the midfield. He's right. Because he has to drop deep to get the ball, otherwise they're not getting the ball to him. I've seen him throw for the ball loads of times. And then the knock-on effect of that is where Wirtz has to drop to get the ball, and then when he gets it, he's all blocked off and he can't run with the ball. Obviously, Ekitike is going to come closer to the ball, and he's going to stay up the top of the pitch because naturally he's going to want to get involved. So the midfield is the problem, and we all know what we should do, but no one wants to tell him, man. Just get Mac out of the team.
Is another point to this, and I mentioned it earlier. Our press up the pitch is terrible.
It's atrocious.
Like we are recovering the ball in our own half. So there's so much work to do to get back up the pitch again. And either it's a really quick transition, which is getting broken down in a minute. But I'm cool with that because players need to understand each other's game, which ones they're going to make in that transition. But also when you win the ball back so deep, there seems to be this focus for Liverpool to retain the ball and control. But then the team gets behind the ball again. And if your passing ain't crisp and sharp and got some good tempo behind it, it's such slow build-up, and then you revert back to this pattern of what you guys are saying. Wirtz drops deep to get the ball, and then he's then surrounded by all the forwards and midfielders and stuff. If we won the ball back further up the pitch, not only would the opposition be out of shape and we can exploit that, but then suddenly the likes of Wirtz and Ekitike are in areas that they want to do the stuff that they can. They want to show that dynamism, that skill, that one touch and you're in on goal, or in Wirtz's case, which he has shown us, despite poor performances, that he can thread the ball in the 18-yard box to a forward, that he can do more of that, but that can only happen if we're A, progressing up the pitch better, or B, pressing better, win the ball up better. And I'll be honest, I think that something Slot's never quite got right since he's been here. It feels like he's not coached.
It's the person.
Yeah, and possibly, but then you see coaches come in to new sides, right? And maybe it's just a new manager bounce, but he'll just set things in place and he'll tell the players where the traps are going to be set and where the triggers are. And they instantly are doing it better. It feels like we've never instantly made any progression at all, or not instant, but made any progression at all in our press. So I just think that it probably should be an area of focus for us amongst a lot of other things. When the opposition's on the ball, they can't just be we can't just be doing this 1-man, 2-man press and then just easily passing around it and progressing up the pitch, because it's just going to keep pushing us back and pushing us back. If we're going to play this high line, the press needs to be good as well. We can't ever move away from the fundamentals. So maybe it's just a timing thing, early days thing, but I must admit, I can't convince myself that this is something Slot's good at, because I didn't watch him at his previous sides. Maybe you guys know better than me, but I don't think we were good at it last season either, to be honest with you. And how many times did we say it under Klopp? The reason Bobby was so good is because the midfield pressed and he'd then press from behind, win the ball back, turn, and we were already within 30 yards of the goal.
But
and he then literally...
Who was in the midfield, Cav?
Yeah, Fabinho, Henderson, and...
We had a whole engine in it.
But this is the thing. This is the thing. Would Bobby have been as effective playing in this side now where he's got to drop as deep as the likes of Burks does and stuff,
No.
and try and create. No, because he won't get
So
anywhere
he's
near
gonna
the
go back to
18
the point of
goals.
it's gonna go back to the point of we didn't really need Verts, bro. But we got him now.
But I think he's a willing runner. I think he will be a good presser. We've just got to get it right. That's
No,
the
Verts is a good presser. The problem is we've got Gakpo and Salah who aren't good at pressing, and then
Oh no, Gakpo is good at pressing. What we've seen so far this season.
I
The other
disagree.
side isn't. The other side has
Salah
null and
used
void.
to be good at it, but he's not now because he's been given.
Good? Okay.
Slot said you don't have any defensive responsibilities.
Salah has never been good at pressing.
No, he's good. He's never been great. Mane and Bobby was great.
That's a lie. You know that's a lie.
Gee, we done a tactical breakdown the other day,
he
right?
was
And every
Salah
point
since
these
his
guys are
first season.
ticking off. Every point they're ticking off. Isn't that the conversation we had? We spoke about the ex-Liverpool midfield and the reason why the press was really good and the reason why it's bad now because we isolated and looked at games and shown it's too easy to come at the press on our right-hand side of the pitch, on their right-hand side.
Now, I agree 100%. Back then, no way
Yeah,
could you
I
ever say
can't
that.
even lie on that
That's
one.
a myth.
Salah used to be really
That's
good
a
at pressing.
myth. Like you've never seen that.
He was just never as good as Mane.
I always thought the left-hand side was our best side when it comes to
No,
the
you can
defensive
say
side.
that.
No,
Yeah,
Mane
it
was
was
pressing. Mane was 100% better, but Salah still pressed.
back then. No way.
Yeah, he ran around. Yeah, that's fair. But big up to
Wow.
big up to Frenchie for the super chat as well, man. I think 60-30, then 30-60 to keep them both fresh in terms of Ekitike and Isak. But it depends in it. Ekitike would probably want the 60 first, wouldn't he? Because he's the one that started off the season and he's the one started off the season hitting the ground running. So he'd probably think he deserves to have that first 60.
Yeah.
Big up to Liz as well for sharing a member. So if you got it, thank her for it. And she also sent a super chat in as well. The game fund. What are we up to now, Sav? 20? Is it 20 now? 22?
About 22 now. Yeah, we're getting there, man. Yeah, I mean, remember that EA game? Actually, you know what, man? I might have to give it to charity at the end of this with the way you've been managing our club's team. So, but we'll see. We'll see. Big up Liz, though. I do appreciate it. I mean,
Big up Liz. Big up, man. But yeah, I want to obviously we spoke about how he performed in terms of the Bournemouth one, but then looking at the Newcastle game and how he performed in that one, looking at his heat map as well, he was more like drifting over to the left-hand side than staying central to what we saw in the Bournemouth game. And obviously it could be what was the way Newcastle set up with their bank of five.
Yeah, we couldn't get through the middle of them. That's what it was.
Couldn't get through the middle of them.
Chance, man. We're getting pressed.
So we've come up against a team that's opened up in Bournemouth. We now come up against a team that's sat back and kind of giving us the ball. We're allowed to turn and play in the midfield. And my main problem in that game was the forward passing. No one was playing the ball forward into Florian Wirtz and also Ekitike. And it wasn't like difficult passes. Yeah, it wasn't even difficult passes. It was literally simple passes you could play through the lines. And we opted not to try and do it. And not one person can tell me none of these players are capable of just playing the ball through the middle of two people with that much space I was watching in the game. Not one of our players. Then that means they might as well don't play professional football if you can't do that. It's very, very simple.
I think Newcastle, even though they went down to 10 men, they were so intense here that it looked like they were scared to even thread the ball through to Wirtz, even with the simple pass in case he just got jumped, bro. But you have to, it felt like that, but you have to trust him because that's what his game is. That you have to trust him. You just go and buy this player for him to just like, we can see you, bro, but Dan Burns behind you, so no, bro. You have to get off the put. And then what we do is when we get scared to do that, we just send the ball long, innit? And that's how only way Gakpo got the ball in that game, to kept sending the ball long, bro. But it didn't really work out, man. They they have to get used to playing with him, of course, bro. And they're probably on we're not used to somebody being there wanting the ball. Like Thiago's the one who used to want the ball all the time. They can't go around hiding. That's the problem. Like they're all too talented to be hiding. You should want the ball, bro, and want to put some onus on the game, innit? I guess that's the only problem what people have with CJ, bro, that he does want the ball. He just, when he gets it, sometimes he's dilly-dallying, bro, but at least he wants the ball. That's what I'm expecting Mac and that to do show for the ball, bro. But,
And to Cav's point earlier as well, that's another game now I'm seeing. He created another 2 chances in those games as well. So Bournemouth 2, Newcastle, he created 2. So he's doing the job. Will Isak come in and do that job? That's the question.
Do you want, do you care?
Since he's been in the league, I think he's created 85 chances, if I'm not mistaken, since he's been in England. So Isak definitely has got that in his game. I think people sleep on that with Isak.
Yeah, he's definitely got it in his game.
Like, he's definitely got that in his game.
Isak's more of a ball carrier
as well.
isn't he?
Yeah, he's a good
Yeah,
ball carrier.
yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
yeah,
It doesn't-
I think he'll worm his way out of like being pressed by a couple of players, or he'll like try and take on two or three, get into the box. Whereas Isak feels a little bit, not that he's not got that entirely, but I liken him. You remember that goal that Gakpo scored where Ekitike sort of drifted between the fullback and centre back, and they laid it back out to Gakpo. That I see that as more of what you get from Ekitike. Whereas remember the goal that Newcastle scored where Isak sort of was going down the byline, kind of like Suarez did against United, where it's just players trying to press him and he's running at an angle that you rarely see in today's game, and then he's threading it through and it gets tapped in. I think that's where the slight differences are in terms of their like contribution in linking up and creating chances. Is I think Ekitike has a little bit of ball carry but more pass and move, whereas Isak's probably a little bit more carry ball at the feet and see if we can go by people. So yeah, they offer slightly different things.
Yeah, Isak's obviously more assured as a striker as well because he's been doing it longer. He's more experienced. You can see that his game going from being raw to what he is now is way more refined. It makes sense, and obviously depending on what team you play for, loads of people won't see certain things from Isak at Newcastle because he didn't need to, bro. Like this geezer was getting the ball and I'm feeding it to whoever, Barnes, Gordon, or Murphy, and I'm going in the box, bro, because I know what's happening, and that's why they got such that period between him and Murphy. That's why it was so great, bro. It was just an understanding of, yo, I'm doing this. And that's the thing I'll give them, because Salah won't have the understanding of what certain people are going to do yet. I think Salah just mentioned it in one of the interviews. He said, I knew where Núñez and Diaz was going to be all the time. I knew what they were going to do. So I don't expect him to know that after 3 games. So, I think he'll be fine.
Do you know, just because we're looking at this Newcastle game, right? After the game, Slot come out and I'm paraphrasing, he said something like, oh, Newcastle want to play a certain way, and we set up for that. But then we also knew there'd be periods in the game where we would get our foot on the ball and we'd be able to play our football as well. And that kind of did happen. But what it took away from was that Newcastle were better at pressing, better at passing, running with the ball, finding space. And this was with 10 men. So if it was just that they were effective at hoofing the ball forward, right, then I'd be like, okay, cool, they win that battle. But they won every other battle for most part of the game as well. So that's
Slot tried to make it sound like that as well. He tried to make it sound like Newcastle were just hoofing the ball only. But
and there wasn't. Elanga was finding acres of space and driving in behind. Gordon was doing turns, in the centre of the park and linking up and stuff as well. Like, it was far better. So they beat us in every battle, for the most part, to be honest with you. But Slot kind of insinuated that he's going to sort of not manage game by game, but as we've seen last season as well, he's going to manage periods of games and change our tactics between moments of games as well. But I'll be honest, I'd like for us with the quality we've got to just do better in that. Like, why? Okay, I'm all right with losing the battle if Newcastle want to hoof it forward. What can you do other than win your header, win the second duel, and then get back to playing football? And that's what Liverpool don't do well. We get so focused in on matching them and copying them. No. Match them to get back to playing your football. Yeah. And that's what we did do in that Newcastle game. And that's same with Bournemouth. When Bournemouth were having joy on the counter-attack, okay, let's set to nullify the counter-attack, but then let's get back to playing how we want to play. And then Arsenal, obviously, both cancelled each other out a bit different. But we need to give opposition respect, and I get that. But also at the same time, when you sign in players like Verts and Isak, and you got Salah in the side, and you got Virgil at the back and stuff, it's almost a bit like, respect them for like maybe 5-10 minutes, but then dominate again. No, I mean, not periods of games.
Players need to be better in that as well, though. Even though I don't like Slot's tactics, you're right. The passing sometimes is terrible, bro. And the movement is so pedestrian. Everyone's stuck in one position. What you spoke about earlier, you just described all them other teams that you like watching, PSG and all that, bro. And I'm not expecting to be like them, bro. But again, fluidity. You mentioned about Salah's not going to move. He's got 1 goal this season, and he got it from the left-hand side, bro. So you should show him early, like, yo, the thing with Salah is he's so smart, And I've been saying, like, obviously players get to a certain age, you're gonna have to adapt your game and that. But they don't normally adapt it and stay on the right-hand side, and like they don't normally adapt and stay on the wing. And all the other wingers who've done that end up as strikers, or they just start moving into those positions. I think Salah will click into gear at one point when he realizes I'm just not getting the ball out here enough. And also, what I will give him a blight with is there's no right back, so he can't play. He doesn't do well with. So Bosley done a great job for us, but he didn't go bombing forward every 2 because he's not a right back. So he's like, I need to be assured defensively before anything. Salah's so used to having a link up with whoever it is, Trent, Bradley, Frimpong now. It's like, okay, I'm just out here. I'm just out here now. Get involved in the game because you're him, innit? You're supposed to be him. I want you to want the ball, bro. Don't tell me this. Oh yeah, he said. What did he say? This season it's more about the team and that. Now, bro, just be Salah, bro. Because the only way, because otherwise from that, bro, like if you're not gonna get goals and assists, bro, and then you're not gonna have good performances, then you're kind of like redundant at the time, bro. And it's too good to have that kind of thing. So yeah, the movement does need to be on point, but it's so bad at the moment.
He could argue though, Sav. If you look at the last game, he was 3 good touches away from a hat trick, really. Because the amount of times the ball got threaded into his feet, and we're so used to Salah just first touch on point, put it into the near post, or first touch, maybe second touch to open it up to put it into the top far corner. But the first touch was so bad, he literally was just passing it back to Arsenal. But they're the key moments where, as poor as he's been, and he was in the box, and there were chances there where one right touch and it's a finish, and that's what we've seen for Salah for so long now. Is like probably not in the game really, but there's then moments, 2-3 moments in the game where he just shows that perfect touch and then the finish, and that's what the touch let him down from against Arsenal. Because had he, them 3 chances that I can remember from memory, had the first touch been right on 2, and then he slots those 2 away, he's walking away with exactly the same performance as last season, where it's pretty poor if you look at it.
First should have 3 assists then. So first should have 3 assists then.
And then 5 margins. And that's probably where he might look at it and just go, I'm calm about all of this. Yes, I know I need to improve in my first touch and maybe be a bit sharper in the box. That will come. I don't need to change my overall game. I just need to ease my way into the season. And look, again, it comes back to that conversation. We're not going to like that because we want him involved more. But at the end of the season, he'll walk away with the goals and assists.
Oh yeah, because he believes in himself. So he told us already that like I'm playing moments now. He said that himself, so he does believe that. That's why I said in the last stream, I'm gonna be bothered while I'm watching the game, but I'm not blaming Salah anymore, bro, because Slot's the gaffer, bro. So if he's gonna keep him on the pitch all game, and same what I just said about the passing. These are professional footballers, so they should be able to pass the ball properly. But the fact what you said is they keep letting the other team reset when we're in great position. Don't let them reset all behind the ball, and that it doesn't make much sense. And then I wonder what kind of training you're not doing, like what you, because I don't see no patterns of play, so I don't know what you're not are training. I'm sure you're doing professional training and you're running and stuff like that, and lactate and bleep test, and you're not doing. Every time I see them, these men are doing up Van Damme on kick pads and that. I don't care, bro. No, bro, because how are we doing so much physical training, and then every time we play against a physical team, we get punched up? No, we won the game, but clearly Slot's weakness is them teams. He keeps mentioning Plymouth, bro. You notice that he keeps mentioning it.
Yeah, I noticed that.
He doesn't like the way Newcastle play. He doesn't like any team that press him out of his skin like PSG does. So I understand that. So like every manager has something they don't like. You can always tell when they start sounding like the other team's football is the antichrist, bro. You're in trouble because now you're not taking any onus on how you played. You're just like, what did he say? Newcastle played 350 long balls. All right, bro. Relax, man. They had 10 men, bro. Like, what are you talking about? So he's got to fix that up, but the boys have to get better at passing because that's how you get past them physical teams, bro.
Yeah, 100%.
Do you know what's crazy though? Like, Newcastle will probably take points at home against the likes of Arsenal and Man City and the other teams that will compete for the league. So it's mental in it because I think the conversation we're having is so valid. But then, like, if Slot was sat here right now, we'd just kick back and be like, I won my opening game of the season against the Bournemouth side that have shown that they're really good. I beat Arsenal at home, title rivals, and I beat Newcastle away. Like 3 hard fixtures. And I've won them all. So it just, we've said this so many times, haven't we? Yeah. Like under Slot, we might never see patterns of play. We might never see good football, but we might win everything that we've always hoped for. So
that's always going to be the problem. That's why I've always conceded that I'm just a content creator and he gets paid the millions and that, bro. But like, your missus could flirt with every man she sees and never cheat on you, bro. I don't like it though, do I? So
that's a fact. That's a fact.
Looking at the Arsenal one then for Ekitike as well. That heat map is diabolical, by the way. Arsenal nullified him, and this is what was one of the main reasons I think we definitely needed to go and get another attacker in. Because if he's not having a good game, you need someone else at top level to come in and play. And yeah, like I'm looking at it now, it's still pretty much over on the left. Really, no real touches in the box. as much as you would like it to be as for a striker, but it's more central again. The false 10 foot, 9.5, whatever you want to call it. He's dropping into these half spaces, and his numbers in the game wasn't great either. For how we played, and obviously to do with Arsenal, they're a very good defensive team as well. The way they set up, but yeah, they nullified him. They nullified him in this one.
The thing is, you're up. Oh, sorry.
No, go on, G. Go on, G.
No, all I was gonna say, you said it there, man. It's like the Arsenal to me are the most and the best organized team in the Premier League. So that was always gonna be tough for him, regardless. Like there's gonna be a lot of strikers I think will have a bad day against Arsenal anyway, just because they're the most organized team. Like you can see the way that they defend. Like they don't look exciting, but bruv, you can't break that down. Liverpool could not break that down. Could have played that game 10 more times. It wasn't happening. And that's just because of how organized their rest defense and the way they kind of set up and all that kind of stuff. So, and the ball wasn't really getting to him as well. So I kind of felt a little bit sorry for him in that game. I was like, bro, you're not getting the ball to him. He's dropping deep. Like, look at the heat map that you obviously put. I was thinking, and it's so peak because I was like, you can't, I don't even want to take him off because no one's on the bench. So I can't even say, oh yeah, take him off and bring someone else on. Like we have no one else at the time. So I'm kind of like, you're just stuck with him to stay there. But then he ends up playing in positions that Wirtz wants to. Like it, honestly, it was horrible, that attack against Arsenal. But again, Arsenal. We're not going to play Arsenal every single week. So he might not need to worry about that too tough, if I'm being honest.
18 touches of the ball and 2 passes out of 5 completed. 18 touch, 1 touch in the box for a striker isn't great at all, bro, to be fair to him.
But how many things did we create for him? And I think it goes back to it's the patterns of play again. Like if
you frozen, Cal?
FSG shot man down, boys.
He's saying some stuff, but yeah, I think we definitely need to be better in these type of games as well, man. And I don't know whether. Go on.
Sorry, Cal. I was going to say, like, you're dead right. Arsenal are a very well organised side, but I'm not sure how you guys seen it. But from the stands, there was space. There was space to exploit, and I feel like a confident Liverpool side, or just an individual confident midfielder, maybe like Bruno Guimaraes played against us, again played that fixture. A confident player in the middle of the park would have just blown that space wide open. Like it was just there. It was just the football was so nervy and so tentative, like so focused on not giving the ball away and not letting up, the first goal conceded, that nobody really wanted to break into it. And as organised as Arsenal are, and I think their back four was, I think the midfield actually, there were spaces and pockets there that could have been exploited, and we just didn't. And it almost took like a maverick in there to just really change the course of the game. Someone that was willing to just take a bit of a risk and drive into space and move them around to be able to make things happen. But we just had a team full of players that were just like pretty content, I'll be honest with you, of getting a draw and moving it onto a different day. So I think for as organised as Arsenal usually are, you could see that there was, if we really wanted to, we could have gone for that more and we could have created more chances. And I think that's where Ekitike suffered really is. I don't think that the team was really that concerned with getting the ball into our forwards, to be honest with you.
Why do you think it's like that, though? Sorry.
I just think what Carl said earlier was the right thing. Carry on, bro.
It's just, why? Because it's Arsenal and they're title rivals and it's all mental. It's all mental. If Liverpool are 10 games into the season and they've won all their games, they're probably thinking, yeah, bring Arsenal on. We'll go for that, no problem. But third game into the season when you've won, 2 out of 2, you probably just say, do you know what? We'll just take a point and move it on to a different day. I genuinely think that as much as the players want to win every game and want to win, there's that thing in the back of their mind that's like, a draw is fine. And that really, it can be the difference in games at times. That's the 5% that you need to sort of be able to win them duels, drive into space, to be able to do a step over to beat a man or try something that you ordinarily wouldn't. Takes all of that away when you kind of know that a draw is fine. I'll just keep it simple. And you kind of pass the buck to your teammates a little bit. You think, oh, someone at some point is going to do something, we'll be fine. And the likes of, McAllister and Gravenberch and these types of players, they can do stuff, but they're just like, no, I'll keep it simple today. Let someone else do it. Verts is still finding his feet. Salah's probably, out of form. Ekitike is trying to make things happen, but as a unit, it was just too content with getting the draw. I think it was purely psychological, to be honest.
I think for a team that was the team that had the champions, we paid the other teams way too much respect, bro. It's what you said at the beginning, bro. And I said that to Ends before the game started. I kept hearing the way Slot was talking about Arteta and Arsenal. I was like, all right, man, you lot are bigging them way too much. Then I got Salah saying that the favourites. I'm like, brother, they're still Arsenal, man. You men have trampled on these pussy-holes too many times, bro. Yeah, respect them. You know how they're going to defend and stuff like that. But someone has to puff out their chest and make something happen. And sadly, like, Virgil's puffing out his chest, but he's at centre-back. He can't do anything apart from defending. Him and Kanate were great. But someone in the middle of the park has to be that person. And I know Carl said earlier, like, you want to get Wirtz in them spots where, like, he can roam and do what he needs to do and infect the game and that. That's what he had at Leverkusen. We spoke about it yesterday. It's what Chelsea do with Enzo and Caicedo, so Palmer can go and do what he wants, bro. When you trust them bad boy players and they're going to make something happen, do that. Now, you give the freedom. Salah's in our team. Salah's the person who has the freedom to kind of do what he wants. But he's on the right hand side. This is not Salah's fault, by the way. But he's on the right hand side, bro. So, and he's not involved in this game. So then no one has it, bro. So man, just being pragmatic, and it looks like you want to take the draw. Arteta looked like you came not to lose, bro. And Slot looked like he came not to win. So, yeah.
So the draw was probably the fair result, isn't it?
Barring Szoboszlai's brilliance, it would have been a draw.
Yeah, and you said earlier about nobody being able to get the ball up to Wirtz because no one's carrying the ball, and someone just mentioned it right now as well. Soon as it's not because it's that, because Curtis doesn't do this all the time. It's the reason why he's never in the first team. He's not consistent enough. But as soon as he came on, somebody did start doing it. Then Wirtz looked better, bro, instantly.
Yeah. Instantly,
And it's just like, just look at that. It doesn't have to be Curtis, but give them instructions to whoever needs them instructions. Time to fix up a little bit, because can't have man just keep telling us that midfield's world class and that, and then they play like that. They're not, bro.
The problem we have though, Sav, is because we keep winning. So we're looking at little issues, but eventually across the season, if we don't fix them, the bigger picture. We're always talking about the bigger picture instead of just the there and now. The bigger picture is if we don't play better, we're not going to find a solution. And you're right. Yesterday when you said a last-minute goal from Chiesa to help us against Bournemouth, last-minute goal from Rio, and then an 82nd minute free kick from Szoboszlai to win us 3 games, which football are built up over moments. But at the same time, I want to be winning games way before that. I want to make sure we can then bring players on, because Liverpool are in a comfortable position instead of this last hurrah thing. Like at the start of the season, get the 3 points, but we have to be better in the way we're playing.
That's the only pattern you see, brother. And I get it. That's why when people say, "Oh, why you being negative?" I actually understand, especially if you come in the stream halfway through. I'm not trying to be negative, bro. We're just trying to analyze on it. Obviously, as I said yesterday, once the streams are done and that, I'm happy that Liverpool's got 9 points, the top of the table. But you can see stuff and know where it's going a lot of the time. You're never going to be 100% factual, but we had this in Klopp's last season, and we kept winning games in the last minute. Nunes in that last minute, and all of us said it's not going to be sustainable in it, bro. Yeah. And then we got Palace, and they scored 1 goal. We couldn't score. It's over. You lost the game, bro. It's done. Villa, you drew the game. It's done. And that's the fine margin in the Premier League, bro. And you're expecting, could be wrong, and how it started so far, you can't really tell. You're expecting the other teams to be a little bit better. So far, it looks like they're all exactly the same, but you're expecting them to be a little bit better, man. So that's the fine margin. We can't just go, we won the league last season, so let's stay like Liverpool from last season. No, you better try and improve just in case, bro. You better try and get better than what you're doing.
You know, one thing that I've noticed we're speaking about Ekitike. Yeah. We've spoken about Isak. Spoken about Salah. The common denominator I'm hearing from all of this is the midfield. Like, it's the one position that we keep talking about. Cal mentioned before about double pivot, being so important to the team, obviously, for this season moving forward. We've spoken about the midfield. I can see people talking about what's McAllister's best position. It's that midfield. I've said it a million. That was the one position you had to upgrade in and get that. I don't care who it is. I can't pick a player. Pick any player that you just think would be good enough. Get that player in, because I just think that it changes the dynamic of how the team. Because right now, you got to remember, at the back, Liverpool's player who they can get themselves out of trouble has left to go Real Madrid, one of the best passers in world football. We do not have that now in the team. You haven't got no one really in the team. Virgil at best, kind of thing. So you're looking at it thinking, yeah, Liverpool can't even get themselves out of certain situations anymore. Cav mentioned about the build-up. It's not been good since he kind of commit, like all of these little things. And then we go back to the midfield again. You don't have that player in the middle. None of them. I'm sorry, but none of them for me at this moment. Maybe Jones. Maybe Jones is the only player I look at and think, that's the guy who can get you control. That's the guy that can sort out the tempo for you. But he doesn't even play. Like, he's on the bench half the time. Hence why, coincidentally, he comes on, Wirtz looks better. Why? Because you bring that player on who can actually control a game of football. Do you know what I mean? The other guys, they can't do that. Grav can't do it. Matt can't do it. Szoboszlai can't do it. That's not their kind of game. Their game is built up of different
Our midfield
things.
do look like thingy, don't they? They look like individuals. But they
Yeah,
don't look
it's
like
just a bunch of individuals. Like, you've been here for time now. Like, I thought by now you guys would have built up some level of like cohesiveness. And bro, you men are not cohesive.
Not when it keeps but not when it keeps changing. G, they're
Yeah,
never
but
going to
you
be
don't know what
changing it though. But
not when it keeps.
we had the same midfield last season. What was the big complaint that we had?
Yeah, but
He's
different
running these
roles,
players
innit?
into- No, but it's
different
irrelevant.
roles.
Like,
Mac would play more the forward. Gravs in the United one was the more the
but it's
advanced
the
midfielder.
same,
Sobo
like-
would cover. I understand what you mean. The same three players, but when you're playing, even though we're on the pitch at the same time, if my position changes from game to game in terms of the tactics,
but it's not changing.
we're
from
never
game to
going to
game.
build. Boy, I'd beg to differ on that, bro. I think it does.
Let's put it this way: towards the back end of last season, we'll just use that as the sample size, right? The one thing obviously everyone complained about was obviously the games, the amount of times these guys are playing. Mac's always playing, Grab's always playing, Szoboszlai's always playing. It's the same three players. We then tried to come into this season. There's just not like we're trying this player because McAllister's injured or he just had a baby and whatever. Fair enough, it's the early part of the season. Maybe that might change. But then you've thrown Wirtz into the mix now, so he has to play. So now you're going to go back to a 2. So it's not even going to be a cohesive 3 anymore because you're only going to have the 2 in midfield. But then the 2 in midfield can't do the real job that you're probably looking for. Hence why you have to keep changing it all the damn time. I'm like, brother, just buy the fucking midfielder that you needed and you would have been fine. I don't need to keep seeing Grav play or Szoboszlai. I don't care. Like, play the 2 that you think would have been that can do the job, and then we can move on. But it's the one area of the pitch that I look at and just think it just doesn't look that good. And we keep talking about it, we keep mentioning it. We're talking about Ekitike today, and half the conversation, like most of that conversation, we're talking about the midfield. They can't really bring the ball forward. They can't really do this. The passing's kind of this. I'm like, bruv, like, get that midfielder in. Until you do that, but we're just going to be watching the same boring, shitty football for time. You can keep winning, and obviously I don't
once
care.
Grav and Sobo plays in the double pivot, you won't see that.
I also think
That's not a pivot that I want to see, though. Like, I can't even lie.
I don't care what you want to see. I know what's best for us in it.
But we don't. But you don't because we've just
the best
about
football we've seen us play is that. I promise you, the best football we've seen plays them 2 in the pivot and Wirtz at the top.
But we've just spoken about how Jones came on the pitch. So this Szoboszlai was at right back. When Jones came on the pitch, we then got the player that you want in order to, like, the player that you want to see playing better, which is Florian Wirtz. He all of a sudden started playing really, really well. Nothing to do with Grav, he came on the pitch. So I'm now looking at
that's within, but that's in. I'm talking about from the start of the game, G. I'm not waiting till second half, 60, 70 minutes.
I'm not saying we have to wait.
We played the starting players that I want to see. We won't have an issue, bro. That's
all
the
of a
most
sudden
balanced.
now McAllister's this not good player, so he just drops.
It's not about not being good. It's about what's balanced. It's about what's balanced for the team.
I hear what Andrew's saying.
What's balanced is Gravs and Sobo for me.
I think Max our best
midfielder,
but I think the best balance is Grav and Sobo at the moment. But another thing though as well, guys, do we now have an issue in terms of our wingers in the fact that even though Gakpo and Salah have really good output, that need to get the ball up the pitch. When you're in a bit of trouble, you can whip it out to one of your wingers and your wingers can just drive down the pitch with the ball, take 2-3 players out of the game potentially. We don't have that. Gakpo is very, very predictable in what he's going to do. Salah is extremely hit and miss with his dribbling. Like you saw in the game against Arsenal, he had Calafiori on toast 1 second and the next second he's lost the ball. Are we lacking someone in the wing? Because again, I think that will help with bringing the team up the pitch. I think that helps with Ekitike and Isak. Hence why I was really getting onto everyone being like, we need to go and grab Rodrigo in the summer. But obviously he loves Real Madrid for whatever reason. I think the winger situation, I think we're going to have to look at that next summer, maybe even January.
Yeah, because you're dead right. Every team we come up against now knows that when that ball goes into Salah's feet, as long as you've got the left back, you know, goal side of him, and you've got another player that's there or thereabouts, not even doubling up, you know Salah is either going to run into your shins or he's going backwards, or he's going to look for that direct ball into the box or a runner in behind. He's not taking you to the byline, and they know that. So then they can compensate for that. And then when they go over to the other side, if it's Gakpo, 9 times out of 10 he's cutting in. He's not taking to the byline. So teams know they're not going to be stretched in that respect, and they can just accommodate for it. And then that's where we just see the play just going forward, but then coming back again so often. And if you come up, Newcastle did it to us. Every time the ball went into Elanga, it was burning down the wing. And sometimes Kirkus did well, sometimes he didn't. But he drove that team forward, which means the back line pushed up, which means the midfield pushed up. And it made Kirkus think, well, is he gonna pass backwards, and my body shape needs to be set up prepared for that, or do I need to be more side on because he's going to hit the byline and I need to be running with him? No opposition has that with us. They know what our forwards are going to do. So that's where last season we got joy, because in a different way we achieved the same thing, getting to the byline by Szoboszlai running beyond the defenders and then creating and then pushing the opposition back in that respect. So without that now, we've made it easier for teams to set up against us in terms of their defensive structure. And look, when Liverpool get going and they find the feet and the link-up play is good, we'll move these teams around a lot more. And we'll put the defenders of the opposite in positions where they've got to make decisions. Do I step in? And that decision isn't, oh, I've got 5 seconds to think about it. No. 30 seconds, milliseconds, you've got to make decisions. And do I step in? Do I drop off? Do I don't have time to call my midfielder back, and all these kinds of things. And also body shape. I feel like when teams come up against us now, like as long as the back four is set, if the ball goes out to Gakpo or goes out to Salah, body shape's always face on. It's always, or maybe side on if Gakpo's cutting in or whatever, but they're never prepared to run back because they know they don't have to. They're just going to defend what's in front of them. And that's where we need to start hitting the byline, players breaking from their set positions, and you need to turn these defenders around and move them around and create different angles. And that's just not what we do well. And so you're dead right. One of the ways in which we can improve in that respect is when life after Salah's got to be somebody that's a little bit more dynamic in that attacking play.
You could help that now, though, couldn't you? You could help that now, even with not them, because like Rio does it. Rio takes man to the byline. As soon as he gets on the pitch, he's trying to take man to the byline. And when Bradley plays, overlapping, Frimpong overlaps. I think to caveat until a new person comes in on the wing and that, you got to use Kirkers and Frimpong in it, or you got to use Bradley and whoever, bro. And that's why I don't like Kirkers inverting, bro. His best game was against Arsenal, and he wasn't inverting, bro. So the signs are there, bro. That he doesn't know what he's doing. That's not we didn't do that at Bournemouth. He ain't been doing that his whole career, and you ask him to do something like that. And if, like Cal said, Salah and Gakpo are very predictable. I'm not even moaning at him for it because some of the best players of all time are predictable. Robben's predictable. I know what he's going to do. You can't stop it sometimes, innit? But when you can stop it, and it's very simple. If you can block, if you've got people just sitting behind the ball, you can block Gakpo's shot most of the time. You know what's going to happen. Same with Diaz used to have it, and then they just block him. You know what Salah's going to do, that Trivela. The only thing is Salah's pass sometimes is so good that you can't do anything about it. But most of the time, you know what he's going to do. But as soon as I see Bradley come on the pitch, bro, he normally, he does the inverted thing sometimes in that, but he's trying to make these runs into the box. And Salah
he's trying to crash the box.
Yeah. And then the same, and obviously not with Kirkers now, but Kirkers at Bournemouth, that's what he was doing, bro. Frimpong, you saw him in pre-season, straight away. That's where he got his goal from. He tried to run down the wing and he crossed it in, bro. So, like, I'll give him the blood at the moment because Frimpong and Bradley haven't been fit and stuff like that. But that Kirkers inverting thing, stop it, bro. He doesn't help him out, and he doesn't help you out, bro. And if Gakpo's gonna cut in and Kirkers is gonna cut in, then who's on the left side? Their right back is chilling, bro. He's like, there's all that space of grass there. You're not gonna run into it now. All right, safe. I'll just defend what's in front of me. It should be very easy. And unless you've got a great shot on you, bro, and you're gonna beat me and my goalkeeper, carry on doing what you're doing. It's all day, bro. All them left and right backs that used to come up against Liverpool and, oh my God, I can't be bothered to it today, man. I'm going to have Salah running at me. I'm going to have this running at me. They don't have it anymore, bro. They're laughing. You know what I mean? So, gotta try
why not?
Bro. Fair
You
point.
know what we're talking, and the fullbacks play a big part in all of this as well, because you've spoken about the invertedness, which I totally agree with. But also, you know, when we had the best fullbacks in world football, in Trent and Robbo during them years, they offered you so much variety, overlap, underlap, but also crossing from deep.
Yep.
Make the opposition think. In a minute, the opposition know that there ain't no crosses from deep. It's going in, at some point. It's going into Gakpo and Salah, and at some point they're cutting in. You've got to change
That's
that.
a great point.
Yeah, you've got to. If the defense is thinking, right, I'll step up and I'm going to be on the 18 or I'm going to be on 20-yard line, right, and suddenly the ball is being crossed from Kirkes, and maybe not Frimpong. I'm not too sure about his game in that respect. But
No. Frimpong, all his assists from Leverkusen are like that. Most of them are like that.
It overlaps,
yeah.
find it back.
As soon as you're like 30, 40 yards out, if it's Isak, which is most likely, right? If he's on the shoulder and there's 5, 10 yards between the defenders and the goalkeeper, put the ball in there. It ain't going to work. Obviously, we hope it does. But you've got to get that defense thinking, I can't sit here on this line all game. I've either got to step forward or I'm going to have to drop off. If you're going to drop off, Salah and Gakpo, then cool. You've got the space now. The space is in front of the defense, which is what you naturally want. And then that's when the midfielders step up and they then link up. And we've seen it by McAllister last season on that left side. When Gakpo played the ball into more, Diaz did. He will play that reverse pass back into you as well. But you've got to push them defenders, the opposition defenders, into positions where then you then go and create in a different manner. And that's just not what we're doing at the minute. It's just too easy to be set in a position for 90 odd minutes against us. And the only time really teams get caught out by us is in that transition. But let's face it, man, every team can do a transition. It's football. Like every team at some point is going to have a moment and step forward, and then it's going to expose themselves. It's what you do when the team is set up, you're on the ball, and they're behind the ball. How are you going to progress forward? Where are you going to pull them? You know, how many times have we spoken about under the Klopp side? One thing that we never talk about often actually is Liverpool was so good at pressing, right? But compressing one area of the pitch, one side of the pitch with their press, they'd always leave one man far and wide out. And how many times did we see a switch from Trent out to Robbo? Acres of space. That he was pulling the opposition around. If you weren't pre-pressed up the pitch, we'll condense you into the left side of the pitch. And we knew the space was on the right. It was just about triggers and setting the opposition up to then attack them. And it feels like we don't do that anymore. It's too heavily reliant on, at some point, the quality of these players will show through. At some point, an accurate pass will get us in. At some point, there'll be a free kick from 30 yards out. You know, come on, we need to see
enough,
better.
you're explaining their best traits as well. Like for Kirkes and Frimpong, it's two of their best traits. Bro. All the crossing everyone was talking about Kirkes from Bournemouth last season was the cross that you're talking about. Funny enough, Robbo attempts it all the time. He just doesn't have it anymore for some reason. He doesn't seem to get any height on it, but he's always looking. You know what I mean? And you're right. Frimpong's a little bit different because he's been injured now, so I'm assuming that he'll do that when we saw him do it in preseason as well. And I'm sure that once Ekitike knows that's going to happen, then he can start making those runs, because you already know Isak loves that, bro. That's all he was getting off Gordon and Murphy. I'm gonna give you the ball to the wing and I'm gone, bro. Send me in that space and let me do the rest. So hopefully they do that, because like I said, the inverted thing is just crowded. It's so crowded in there, congested, and no one's doing anything with the ball, bro. So
some fantastic points, lads.
Just the psyche as well, right? You know, when Salah was at his best, right? And we talk about Salah getting older and adapting his football to suit his body and all of these kinds of things. That much is true. Back in when he was playing under Klopp, he was receiving the ball in so many different ways. A deep cross from Robbo and he's in on the back stick. Mane cutting in and playing it through to him, or getting to the byline, pulling it back. It's Trent feeding balls down the edge of the pitch or directly in behind the defense, which he runs onto. All these different angles. I think in his psyche now, and Gakpo kind of said as much still a few weeks back, where it's like, oh, if I know if I'm running at the back stick, Salah will find me and I'll do the same to him. Yeah, cool, but like, what else are you doing there? Like, everybody looked at him and was like, oh, that's fantastic. Yeah, they found themselves each other so many times at the back stick. Yeah, no, that's great to have one attribute that you guys link up with. But what about the 10 other that we used to have? You know, what about the 10 other ways in which you find each other in different spaces that you passed into each other in the 18 and things like that? So I think that we need to start to do these things to remind the likes of Salah and Gakpo that it's not a receive the ball to feet and cut in thing all the time. Suddenly, there almost needs to be a player like Kirk swinging the ball in from deep and then shouting at Salah, "Where are you?" So Salah goes, "Yeah, I've got to start doing that again now. I've got to start getting in the box when it's like that." And these players, as years go on, get so set in their ways that then you've got to start thinking, no. You need to be making these different runs. You need to be changing up what you're doing, and that is something that needs to be encouraged if Liverpool are going to be, if we're going to maximize the dynamism that these players have. Slot needs to be more. I don't know how, but whether you simplify it by saying just be more fluid or trying to work on different patterns or what, but you need to give these players the ability to move these oppositions around, and then it snowballs from there, you know. Because we've seen it. Remember Gakpo? I think it was the Euros. He was great, and then he came to Liverpool off the back of it, and he was like hitting the byline, and he was running down the byline, and he was cutting in, and he was crossing. And I remember us having a conversation saying, "Wow, he's on fire, varied in his game. Every time he picks the ball up, the defender did not know what Gakpo was going to do. And it's changed again. It's like back to cut in and shoot or cut in and pass. Like
predictability.
Part of it's confidence, but also the tactics and the players being able to show what they can do within their tactics gives them that confidence.
The whole point of doing the cutting in as well, guys, is just to add the overlapping players. If you're going to do that, you got to utilize them and use them. Because I say every time in the game, I'm watching them make runs. Kirk has made the run and then screwing is like, why have you not cut this back to me? Like, let me put the ball across the boxes. There's Salah lining up, Ekitike lining up, midfielders running into the box, but you've cut in to have a shot. So it's just sometimes even if it's, you keep repeating it over and over, just give it the overlapping fullback. There's a reason when you cut in, the fullback has to follow you. He can't drop off. If he drops off, you have space to shoot. But I think individually the players just have to fix that themselves. But before we go, I'll get through these quick super chats, boys, and then we'll wrap it up. And I got one more question. Big ups to Zabir for the super chat. No excuses for EAFC 26 now. He says, man, like Dark Cow, Mr. Klopp was wrong. Mr. FSG in, Mr. Myones. Big up yourself. Big up to the Spicy FC squad.
Hey, ball up, bro.
Big up, bro. We're up there. Big up to JD Activist as well. Cow was right. We need a Garth. Nah.
I never lived that up. I said it. No, there's never context around my bad takes. That's what I realized. There's never context around it.
Well, because maybe you didn't add it.
It's not your worst take, innit? Ronaldinho.
Yeah, Carl, that was mad. I don't know what. Yeah. And then I saw one from Ultra as well in the chat, which I'll ask you after this. Big up to Zabir again. We need to stop criticizing players and have proven abilities and criticize the managers' loose tactics. Some managers win with garbage tactics or win garbage tactics. Yeah, I think criticize the players more often. I think we criticize the players because I think sometimes as a top class player, you got to fall out of the tactics sometimes. Yeah. Sometimes you have to go off script. Like I'm watching the game going, exactly what you guys mentioned. Why are we allowing the team to reset? Do you know how many times I've said this and watched it? I'm like, so we're attacking. We outnumber them, and then we go, no, cut back.
Yeah, let's cut back. Let's chill.
Let's wait. Like, what?
Yeah, bro. And there's some stuff with the players. Like I'm not getting onto the gaffer for, bro. Like, oh yeah, you can't make a 5-yard pass. That ain't Slot's fault, bro. You should have learned that when you were free, bro. Talking about. Yeah. That's not his fault at all.
Quick one then, lads. After the international break, we want a slot pick Isak to start.
I'll go first. No, can continue, boys.
Too soon.
Yeah, agreed.
All right, fair enough. If Isak walks out of that pitch against Burnley, bro. Yeah,
nah, that'd be Ekitike. Isak will probably come off the bench in that game in the Merseyside derby, though.
Yeah, he probably won't even start the Sweden game, though.
Yeah.
Nah, I don't even think he should even play those games. Just chill, man.
He's not played before, isn't it?
He's been chilling for about 4 months.
Yeah, no, we need it.
Look at this slot mindset getting into his mind.
Yeah.
No, just chill.
45 minutes for the Sweden games, I'll be all right with.
Yeah, it'll get it'll be on the bench for Liverpool in the Everton game, I reckon.
And then I'll put a poll out for the guys as well in the chat. So make sure you guys, who should we look at next? So we looked at Florian Wirtz yesterday. We looked at Ekitike today. Who would you guys want us to look at next? So far, the votes are at 41% Mo Salah. So Mo Salah will be the next one up on the chopping block for us to look at his game. Yes.
Okay.
Who did you pick yesterday?
Pascal
I forgot
Struck.
that.
Pascal Struck,
Yeah.
bro. Oh.
Nah. So we're gonna
I
look
like
at
football, bro.
Salah.
I like football, bro. I can't help it, man. I'm a student of the game, but I like football, bro.
I hear it. We will look at Salah tomorrow. So, guys, if you're Salah FC, if you're a Salah lover,
You're gonna get the most hate
Salah
on that video, you know that.
sympathizer,
You're gonna get terror.
don't tune in for that one. Just you know what I mean. I know. I'm hoping we can get a good panel together for an honest discussion, not a biased one. An honest discussion.
I don't want to be a part of that. But yeah, I mean, I care about my son. I care about my son and my dog and my missus and that, bro. I don't want to be a part of that.
All right, man. But before we wrap it up, we've got the members only video today as well. That's at 6 o'clock. So guys, tune in for that. But Sav,
you don't think yet the OnlyFans link. Have you dropped the link yet, bro? I'm just asking if you dropped the link yet, bro.
I haven't. But do you know what link I have dropped in the community? As I said yesterday, guys, I told you guys I will drop the email address. You can send in those kick-ups, Cruyff turn, and stepovers. The email address was sent in the community tab because the conversation we had yesterday was a lot of trolls in there, and we found it funny. But some people saying if football takes are good.
Not me. Man, don't want to know. We're getting close to the time again, Christmas time.
Do you know what? I'm gonna be honest with you. I started playing again, so I'll be sure.
You've been in camp. I hear it from me like Anthony Joshua and I get spread. I hear it. Man.
My last year's report was just dark, bro. I'm not gonna lie. I edited it in it, so when I watched my stuff back, I'm like, oh man, it was dark.
No, editing realized he's only got about 30 seconds left.
Yeah. I was trying to find my good highlights, and I couldn't find my good highlights. And I was like, I wonder if this one took on the other camera, but no, it's just bad all round, bro. So I'm back in camp.
Okay, the real question I have to ask you is, bro, not me again. The man, them, these, not me. You edited it, yeah. Was the worst takeouts of drifting? It was the worst takeouts. Was the worst, like, you know what I mean? Was the bloopers and that?
You should have dropped that, bro.
No, was this the best product?
There weren't. The thing is, I can't even say they were bloopers because, you know, when bloopers are funny, like it was just bad. Like, it was just like, you know, bloopers. You have a little laugh, like you might trip on the ball, or no. This was just bad. It was just bad. Like it was bad. So yeah, I couldn't release it. Matt and
should release
it. They might have punched me up if I'd released it. I told you I'm back.
And you need to. You're asking everybody else to send clips in. Just put up a clip of yourself doing this first.
I've already sent it to the man, and they know my skill set.
Look at Cav. He's like, listen, I don't need to prove myself. There was a ball at the parade.
Wait, you see my 10 kickoffs at the parade? I ain't got nothing to prove.
That's a blooper should be sad. It's facts. It really is fact. Like. It's actually facts. It was dark. It was dark.
Nah, it was fun. The thing is, either way, bro, that was great. It was great content, bro. I swear to God, bro, I was in. The thing is, I knew when you started, yeah. Nah, because I knew when it started, and I saw you standing. I'm like, they look freezing, bro. Like, you look freezing,
bro.
Like, brother, warm up or something, bro.
Yeah, like we booked. I'm trying to think because we released it. I think maybe Christmas on the 23rd or Christmas Eve, one of the two.
Yeah,
we filmed it like a week before, and bro, I can't explain how cold it was out there. But also, we don't want to record it too early either because then things could happen, and then you're thinking, do we need to change it? I'm looking.
No, record it early, man. Like, get it when you man are at the best condition.
Kind of looking, if we can record around now, I'll be all right. I'm not gonna. I'd be all right personally.
Because the weather ain't too bad. You still got a bit of sunshine. So
record
it now.
Like, October and November could be horrific. So,
five-a-side as well. We was mentioning this yesterday. Yeah. I've mentioned it in the past year as well, Cal, about trying to organize from all the YouTubers, the ones we know, and organize something where we can do it for charity.
I've been trying to do it for years, bro. It's gonna be a slug. We can try.
But why is everyone so not nervous? But why is everyone like? It should be something that should just be done. Like even in this 2-week period. Like
I hear it. but there's just some people who ain't gonna want to do it. Remember, we're all out here in it criticizing other footballers.
Yeah, man, I'm shocking them.
It could get dark with some people, like, like, it could get dark. So I think that's in the back of a lot of people's mind. Me personally, I don't care in it. I'm a content creator. I think I'm allowed to criticize someone. I might not be a Formula One driver, but I can tell if someone's driving badly. You know what I mean? But some people might not want to do it.
No, because surface level conversation is fine, but when you go in depth and detail, when man are like, "No, I would have brought that down," I'm like, I don't know if you could have just brought that down.
You never hear me say stuff like that. I'm very purposeful. I would never say something like that. If it's a tap in, like, I'll be like, I'll
that's what it is, bro. Man, them are scared of Darwin getting his get back in it when it hits the internet. Darwin sees it. Like, oh, you talking shit about me? Yeah. We know now.
I imagine Darwin, dude.
Oh, you have to be so Salakosi, man. Yo, be more positive. We know we can see the stuff now, so it's dark for man, bro. Yeah. Might have to show up about Salah still, blood, before man catch me out, bro. Yeah,
no,
you just standing on the wing doing nothing. My bad, Salah, bro.
You already know what I'm on. The minute it's kickoff and the ball comes to me, I'm doing every skill under the sun just on my own.
Nah, man.
You're like, I'm going to pass it forward. Just let me show everyone what I can do, man.
We have to just do the dark thing.
What position on the pitch did you guys play?
What end is answer to this, bro? Go on.
You're a dickhead, Sam. Why are you bringing
everywhere? Everywhere.
Oh, Clarence.
They just hate us, bro. They hate us. No, it's haters.
Explain this to me. Ent and I was talking about our 6-a-side games every week, and then said, "Yeah, I played centre back." Like 6-a-side.
Yeah, you can. You have 2 at the back.
I'm not gonna lie. On 5-a-side, I usually play last man as well.
No.
Thank you. Because I tell you, surface level, that means everyone just stands and run everywhere. No, bro. Some people's skill sets ain't good enough.
And not just that, from playing as last man, you can dictate.
Put my striker. Well. No, it's all right. I'll put my striker, the guy that's the best at finishing. You hold. You just stand there.
The only problem with me, like, if I get bored in one of them 5-a-side games, I'm the geezer that starts doing dumb shit. Like, I'll start doing bicycle kicks and that just because. So I can't help it. Nah, because you know when man them try and be too rigid in 5-a-side. Stand, lad, stand. Brother, I didn't come out my yard to pay to play.
Sam, you have to come. Sam, that means. I'll be like, Sam, stay. You're holding, Sam.
I played 5-a-side last night. One of our players got there late. See, for the first 6 minutes,
oh shit!
All I was shouting, "Keep the shape." I was just on this business. Keep the shape, because brother, being down a man in 5-a-side is crazy.
I'd like it though, man. We could just do that, man. I'd prefer 7-a-side to be honest. I'd just like to roast some screamers in the top bins and that, bro. But hey, we might have to just guilt trip all the other YouTubers into doing it. Tell them it's for charity and that, and then when they say no,
as I said, I've been trying behind the scenes for years, so I'm on board to help out and do whatever. And so let's do it, man.
Because I think it will be worth it, man. Liz made a great point. Said we should do it for men's mental health as well.
Yeah, man.
She was saying in the chat yesterday. Because bro, I promise you, it will be such a laugh, man. It'll be such a laugh. Get people so we can get some people to get
is it strictly content creators, or are we bringing other people in?
I think to start it off content creators, because then it will get overly complicated to try and organize with people that you potentially don't speak to on a day-to-day. Yeah, if that makes sense. Because I think then you can go, right, yes, I'm in, no, I'm not, instead of someone that you probably know through someone else. Then it's too much of a.
If it's for charity as well, bro, you could do, like I said to you yesterday, man, do content creators and bro, and then one sub in it, one subscriber in your team. Everyone has to have one, bro. The one who's super chatted the highest, bro. Money's gonna go charity anyway. It's not for us, so.
I gotta be honest, lad. I'm not sure it's for me because I played last night, right? and one of the lads brought a mate, and he rocked up to the cage. I was like, "Nice to meet you." 2 seconds into the game, I'm barking orders at him like I've known the guy for 20 years. I'm shouting at him.
That's
like, what? You can't get back there and stuff. Yeah, no, I'm a fallout of everybody, I think.
No,
but that's how it's meant to be. That's football.
Okay,
makes for great content, Cap. It makes for great content.
Well, I'm just warning you because I treat how I play football like how I treat business. I'm just there to do I'm so selfish, bro. I work hard for the team, but I'm so selfish that I want to win.
Yeah, bruv, that's football, bruv. If you see me and some of my best friends play football together, shout at each other like we hate each other.
Okay,
That's
all
when you want to
right.
win.
I'm just saying,
because
if
we
you're
wanna
win,
coming
man.
with a good
To be
mental
fair,
health,
Cav,
it
like you
could
used
get
to it anyway.
really.
And speaks to us like that. I'm just pro clubs, bro. It's real life,
Talks
isn't
to
it?
us like trash. He talks to us like trash.
Yeah,
I'm
man.
not gonna lie, lads. You see
I've
when
heard you on pro clubs. You're a bit of
No.
a maniac.
Nah, Cal is the
No.
worst, bro.
I'm nicer on pro clubs, but if we're in person and we're doing that,
You're
dumb
nice
shit,
even-
bruv,
You're not.
I'll be
What?
worse. No, I'm telling you,
There's
I'm
no
nicer.
way you worse
in
than
that-
clubs in real life, bro.
I promise you, bro. I want to win at all costs, bro. At all times. I hate losing. And if I see us fucking around, you might as well leave and go and play in a different team. I'd
Are
rather
you
play
one of
with
them, are you
less
one of them
men.
players that can be reflective of your own game though in real life, or you like?
Yeah, of course.
Okay.
Of course. I don't need anyone to tell me if I was shit. I know I was shit.
No,
if-
but we
if
might
in
need to
that
tell you that
moment.
you're shit, bro. Like sometimes we
No.
need to be told, bro. You get me?
No, you tell me, but no one can criticize me more than me. No one.
think it'd be
But
sick,
I'm
man.
just saying in general. Nah, man. But if man had
You have to
turned
do
up
something, man.
being
I
like
might
100
think you,
step
man.
overs
I
and
might
that,
message Robbie still, bro. I feel like someone like Robbie could sort it out, bro. You need one of them big content creators and that, and it, bro. He's already in the business side and that.
Yeah.
Yeah, look cool.
Mm.
Yeah, man. It'd be cool though. It'd be dope. Get some managers
It's
together.
just,
and
how,
that,
it's just how you get people committed, in it. Because like even if you get people to like contribute with payment, they can still not turn up. So I don't know.
Yeah. I
true.
think it's just about. I think getting the first one done. I think that would then create an excitement, a buzz for the next one. I think the first one's always going to be the most difficult one, just to convince people it's something good and nothing to be ashamed of. If you're not like, it's there for a laugh and it's for a good cause. But at the same time, it's good for the subscribers because then they'll be like, you keep telling me that my man ain't good, but I saw that first touch, or I saw you try to do this, or
Yeah.
and you know what I mean. And then just a back and forth banter, and then everyone will forget about it until the next one. Then the next one, you'd be like, "Nah, I need to be better next time because, yeah, I can't have these guys chatting rubbish." Or Cal, listen, we can organize the Avengers versus the Coppish lot, unless you man don't want the smoke.
I don't think we're ready.
No, you see Carl's face, man. Said just your man. No. Carl's face. I know that face, bro. He said, "I'm fine, but man,
Yeah. No, we ride together, we die together, copies for life. We're not.
Yeah, I wish we had that.
We're not ready for that. We're not ready for that smoke. I'm not gonna lie to you. We're not.
No, you might be.
Oh,
Drifty he's a baller. Matt is the wing wizard.
Yeah, but they're not playing regular football.
No, but it don't have to be.
Okay, that's the fairness. It might end up being fair though because you played football last night. I haven't played since 2018. Cav plays, ends coaches and plays sometimes, but his hamstring's dying. And how you said, and then G doesn't play, and G don't play anymore. So it's kind of fair. Everyone don't play still.
All right. So who would your team? So your team would be you three, G. Who would be your fifth member?
Would have to
And Jerry. Jerry. No,
So
Jerry.
So
Jerry.
me. So
Zabiri's in our team though as well.
No, you didn't.
I'd love. Yeah. So you'd have 5 and 1 sub.
If you don't need an extra player, you can have Zabiri.
No, we're not doing that. No, we're not doing that. Shout out to my guy, bro. No, man, they ain't doing that. No, we ain't doing that.
No, I just meant, bro. He appeared on copies first, bro. They had him.
That's true. That's true. To
No,
be
I'm
fair.
saying,
Zabiri's my guy. If Zabiri wants to play,
Zabiri was when he had the
I'm
locks.
saying, bro. He was on the copy plantation
I
first,
love
bro.
Zabiri on our team. I'm good with that.
Wait, what did you just? No, I won't even ask you to repeat. Don't repeat.
So so say for example, me, Matt, Drift, Zabiri, could we get Monts?
Yeah, no guess.
You can have
And then we need one
you can
more
get
for
Salah
a
down there if you want.
You said, whoa! Yeah, Cavs on that.
No, all I'm saying is I stopped 11 aside a long time ago. I'm a 5 and 6 aside guy, if through and through. Like I'm prepared for this.
All right, so yeah, we'll make it. Yeah, let's organize something.
Yeah, man. Use Tiny Tom, bro. Let him play.
It's tiny Tom.
You know his name now, man. You know his name now.
I don't even know. I might ask. Do you know what? Yeah, and then that will give us our 6 then. So we'll have 6, and you'll have 6.
Cool.
Yeah.
All right, let's organize it.
Oh, I'm so excited, man. Let's do it.
Could be cold, bro.
We'll have to
No,
do
it will be cold.
somewhere in London though, somewhere that's kind of central.
Oh,
for all us to get to.
of course. Sorry, Cav. Don't worry about the Midlands. You know what I mean? Look at these. The arrogance of them, bro.
It's the
no middle ground, bro. What?
No, because remember,
Weren't
me
even
and
a
that
conversation,
Drift are all
was it?
London, Ends is London, Jerry's London, G's London,
Wow.
You guys are
to
lying.
be
Then.
fair, is back
Nah,
and
wow,
forth.
wow. I hear it. I hear it.
Do you know what?
I hear it.
Do you know what? It might be about 50-50 split.
Nah, it can't be 50-50. There's more of us in
I'm
London.
trying to be nice about it.
Majority rules, bro. Majority rules.
It's sad. We've got like the travel excuse though, haven't we?
Yeah,
You know,
let's
we
just hold on that.
drove down 3 hours this morning. And, you know, like,
We'll chip in for you to get trained then. Cool.
But you say rest the legs.
No, I ain't no damn.
what you
No, wait.
mean?
I ain't no damn charity case, man. Hey, my own damn train. We talk.
We can't
No,
win
but
it.
Sam-
You see this? We can't win
Sam,
it.
no, but
no,
the big
because
ballers,
you
Sam.
hear me. You hear me under my breath going when he plays a loose pass. I'm like, we pay for this guy to come down.
You know, good control. He's been sitting on the train for 2 hours.
Legs dangling on the train for 3 hours.
All right,
Nah,
we're gonna
keep it
make it happen. I promise
we'll
you,
sort something.
every fiber in our being, bro, will make that happen because I need to be a part of this. I want to be a part of it.
Yeah, same. I do as well.
I see a few people saying you need to get Jamie in goal for the Coppish team.
I don't think Jamie's gonna do that. I'll ask, but I just want to play football in it. So I've been trying to organize behind the scenes for time. So I'm happy. Let's do this, bro.
I do think though that, like you say, Enz, when she gets the first one done, like maybe if you do it like 6 months, fortnight, like a yearly thing, next time the next one comes around, people are gonna want to be involved.
Yeah,
because they've seen it and stuff, isn't they?
But my thought process was international breaks, innit?
Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
makes sense.
Effectively, that's when we've all as content creators got a little bit more wiggle room with our schedules, innit? So we can do it then. That would be ideal.
Makes sense. Yeah.
When's
the next one?
Not for the Avengers, for Coppish, maybe. We need actual guys with knowledge, bro.
Nah,
We need proper coaches, bro. Not in my team, we're not. I'd rather have my son coach. Way more football knowledge.
Oh yeah,
What
set
you
it up,
want?
Enz. Set it up.
Yeah, we'll do
Nah,
this.
Cal, me and Cal will get it. We'll do
Yeah,
it.
we'll get
I
it
wanna-
going, man. So hold on, is it
do
just
it.
so we'll start as just our two teams versus each other?
Yeah.
And then we
Yeah.
go, all right, cool.
And then we'll go from there. And then that's when we can then integrate
I picked the
everyone else
cameraman
in.
though, yeah.
No. What do you mean? It has to be good, bro.
Bro, I'm gonna chop on my YouTube highlights. Go look like
No,
Messi, bro.
you have to send it. Send
Have
it
me
to us.
walk out
bro.
in slow motion, bro. I'll pick the cameraman. That's all I want. I'll be so biased with the highlights. It's really unreal.
Nah, we definitely can do it. So what we need 6 and probably like a couple of subs in case of any
all right, bro.
injuries.
Give us some time because I'm looking to get kits made and all sorts, bro. You know, like that, bro.
Spicy Balls FC. Come on.
No, Cal. No.
Oh, sorry.
We can't SBFC on the, we can't have that.
Bro, we're not doing spicy balls, bro.
SPFC, no. SBFC, bro. We can have that on the back of the shirt.
Nah, I'm not driving. I'm not fucking driving down to London with that on my back. You can forget it.
We'll be
Let's
trying
do it.
live stream.
Shooting through
We'll
London
live
with that
stream it.
one.
We'll do
Live stream will be jokes, but I
we
think
can live stream it, and then after we do a show where all of us are just on the stream and talking about the game.
and we just
Hey,
we'll
live
do like a
stream it
match
because I'll
reaction.
kiss the camera when I score.
Yeah, I need a thing as well. We need to interview, bro. Look at Laura Woods and that, bro, to ask me about my performance. You know, the
that's
you get me? Look at Green
Laura
Woods. Yeah,
Little Rhodes. Hi, Sam. How do you feel today? Yeah, guys are doing well,
yeah,
but
man. These guys and that,
I mean,
start costing the players.
Ends
and
keep
that.
shouting at everyone because I don't know why, but he just keeps shouting.
Nah, we'll make this happen, man.
Yeah, man, it'd be cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, there you guys have it, man. So you're gonna have the Christmas special reload, and you're also gonna have the Avengers versus Coppish. I can't wait, you know.
Yeah, we have to.
100% I not beg at least 3 of you, man.
Wow.
100%.
You know these.
Sam,
lot
is
got- they got
this how it
kids,
goes
innit?
on? Sam, you're right. Still, he's one of them,
Yeah,
man,
bro.
isn't it?
No. You know the worst part. The worst part. He probably will play well, right? And we'll go, "Oh, fair contribution." Then he'll walk off the pitch going, "I just don't feel like I was appreciating that game."
That's the likelihood of what happens, bro.
What?
Or Cav will score a goal and is like, "Why didn't you pass it?"
Yeah.
Now, if I was there, then I would say it.
What, bro? We've scored, bro.
Yeah.
Just
Our
as we say,
problem isn't the football. Our problem is not falling out during it. That's the thing. All of us will play absolutely fine. We'll be like Liverpool. We were good midfielders in their own right, but as a team.
We might need you mic'd up for the game still ends. That'll be hilarious, bro. Just
that'd be
we'll show the truth then.
You just hear bare heavy breathing. I don't know, man. Like, man, biting air. I don't know if that. Like, is he all right? Like, engineers will be like, "Is the guy on mic 8? Is he okay?" Like, I don't know.
No, I don't think it'll be right. I don't think me having a mic would be good for everyone's morale.
Yeah, everyone would start hearing me swearing and stuff as well. If mum catches it, I'm in trouble, man.
All right, lads.
Nice
Let's
to chat
do
with
it. Big
you,
up to everyone.
Let's do it.
Big up, man.
Yeah, exactly. Because kids might want to watch it.
Yeah.
All right, man. Big up to you guys as always, man. Love for the love.
Swearer. Drifty is the one who swears. You're gonna have to tell Drifty that. Drifty.
Yeah, that's probably after a couple of 1-2s and a nutmeg.
Yeah, I'm not gonna lie. You see, whenever Drifty calls me, I have to shout him before he even says anything. I'm like, "The kids are in the car. The kids are in the car." Like, just one of them, man.
Big up, man. We'll make it happen. Love for the love, guys. Appreciate you guys as always, man. But big up, man. See you guys later. Peace out.
Peace.